Lexington. They have Tyler Childers, Zach Top, and Ella Langley. That's quite a threesome that I'm going to go see today.
Are you that worried about the people? You don't sit in the cheap seats. How many people are you actually kind of running into?
I do have my own section, but
so that's the thing. So Matt will talk like he's amongst the people, but he's not sitting. I've been to events with Matt.
I have to walk amongst them into the gate.
but you're not sitting in the same sections as the people that you don't want to deal with. Like,
no, it's not that I don't want to deal with them. It's just like there's just a lot of people, and when it's a festival, everybody's sweating. Everybody gets hot, and it's going to be like 90 degrees out there today. And it's just a lot. That's all I'm saying. They're having this festival, Myron, at the Red Mile Harness Racing Track, which I wondered, have you ever been to a harness racing track? Because if you want to see degenerates, that's where you want to go.
I have been to harness racing. It's intense. I actually just went to a.
Is it intense or is it sad when you go to harness racing?
Maybe a little bit both. We got it here. I actually went to a competition where they were showing harness racing horses. So it was like.
What does that mean?
Show
competition. No, that's different. You're missing.
I've been to harness racing. No, I've been to harness racing.
Okay, there's a few different things here. You've got horse racing, like the Derby. You have harness racing, that's where they're on the little wheelies.
Yes, I've been there.
Then you have equestrian, that's where they like jump and but then they also have show horses.
Yes.
Which is where the horses do little steps and they do that.
Yes.
So which one are you talking about?
I went to a show horse competition with harness horses. They were in the harness and they were showing their horses, and this dude Fred won first place I kid you not, because it was a competition, a show horse competition. Stop. And they had a division for harness horses.
Stop! I don't want to hear.
I literally went there 2 weeks
James,
ago.
Rachel, this could not have been a professional event if just a guy named Fred won.
It was at the state fairgrounds.
Listen, I've grown up around horses. All right, in Kentucky, nobody named Fred is winning any elite competition.
They had those horses that dance, and do all the moves. They were in the competition. They had
horses that dance. What kind of?
That do all the movements, the rhythmic movements.
Okay.
But then they were like introducing our harness horse competitors, and it was like Fred.
So hang on. Did Fred dance with the wheelie?
No, he was just his harness horse was just running around, but it wasn't a race. They were showing off their harness horse, and he got first place in the competition. Not in the race.
Sounds like something that happened in your neighborhood in Milwaukee.
It's not what happened,
people were betting on it in between dominoes and calling it a competition.
Whoa. No, this is a real competition. You think what did you just describe?
I don't know, but I don't believe they had a competition with horses and a guy named Fred won with a harness on the back of it.
Fred was going, get up. He was doing the thing. He was like, get up, go. He was doing that with the thing. What's the thing called? What's the little thing
you hit? I don't know.
Hit?
You're just making things up. How am I supposed to know what it's called?
He was get up, go. Whatever you do to the horse. What do you say to the horse with the thing you have in your hand? What is that thing? A baton? What is it called?
A baton. No, you say go. Everybody says different things.
Well, whatever he was saying, he said go, and the horse was going, and they were like judging the horses, and he won.
I don't know if I believe all this. All right. Well, nevertheless.
Dominoes.
The biggest. You always talk about dominoes. I don't know. The biggest story next to Fred winning that event that Myron is talking about was Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Traded this week to the Rams from the Browns. A huge trade. I mean, okay. So here's how I read this trade. It was for Jared Verse and some draft picks. But for me, this trade was very simple. The Rams want to win a Super Bowl. And they want to win it next year. And the best way to do that is to bring in the most dominant defensive player in the league, have them do it this year, and then probably Sean McVay's in the booth next year. That's the way I look at it. This is we got to go win the Super Bowl this year with Matthew Stafford. Here's our best chance. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, this is the draft makes sense now to me. When Sean McVay clearly didn't want them to pick Ty Simpson or just wasn't into the pick. This is a guy who wants to win now. I think he has an agreement with Matthew Stafford, like, hey, man, I'll do this as long as you do it. And I'm sure Matthew Stafford said, we got to go out and get some real firepower. I do believe, however, that you got to look at the Browns and say, okay, is this Luka part 2 in terms of
Luka.
Why didn't you put this out to other teams? Like, it doesn't sound like they put Myles Garrett on the market and said, let's see who brings in the most in this trade. It sounds like they just sort of said,
well, they got
fine.
a pretty good haul back, I think. I mean, Jared Verse is a great player in and of himself. And then you get you get 2 draft picks that are high. I feel like that's pretty good. I mean, could they have gotten more? Maybe so, but I don't think they could have gotten a player like Jared Verse that could come in. I mean, how many guys are they going to get in a trade that are going to be able to contribute for them as quickly and as powerfully as Jared Verse?
I think that's fair. I mean, Jared Verse, I think, is a great player. I think Jared Verse, if you're a Browns fan, you're like, okay, we got a young guy to build around. But I do think it's fair to look at Andrew Berry and say your job as a GM is to get the most possible for a player of that magnitude, especially a team that's not in like win now mode. They're so far from being competitive. They don't have a quarterback figured out. Obviously, their defense has been solid, but you're going to give up Myles Garrett. You got to get more assets, I think, to build for the future, and I think that was a mistake.
I think to me, this is all about the Rams. It's all about what they want to do and how quickly they want to win. But if you're the Browns and you're a Browns fan, I don't know any Browns fans except Hammer and Emmett.
Yeah,
but let's say that you were a Browns fan. Does this trade make sense to you, or are you upset like this was our guy, this is all we had, and now we don't even have him?
Again, I'm going to keep comparing it to Luka. You can make the case that Myles Garrett is a top 3 football player in the NFL and the most disruptive defensive player in the league. There's no way that you get anyone in return who matches him. So, of course, there's disappointment in that regard. But it also just shows, like, what is this team's vision? Nobody knows. And I think that becomes the challenge. You don't have a quarterback situation figured out. You might go to Deshaun Watson. You might end up with Shedeur Sanders. There's just a lot of questions. And when you lose a guy like Myles Garrett, Myles Garrett was the only reason you thought the Browns had a chance in every game they played. Like, whenever we do the show and we're making picks, the only reason you thought the Browns maybe could win the game, no matter who they were playing, was because you could think of this idea of Myles Garrett might have 3 sacks and change the whole game. Even though Jared Verse is good, he ain't that good. So
no,
you got to be
true.
Disappointed as a Browns fan.
But you do get a first-round pick, and you do get a second-round pick, and then you get a third-round pick along with Jared Verse. I can understand the thought process, even if you might have thought they should have tried to get a little bit more out of it. One person writes on the text machine, by the way, you can write us here on Matt and Myron, give your thoughts on our conversation, 772-774-5254. One person says, Matt, whatever Myron is describing is certainly not the trots. As a matter of fact, it is not a sporting event that occurs in humanity.
The harness thing?
Yes.
You all think I would pretend that Fred existed? You think I would make up a harness racing dude named Fred?
Where did this event happen?
At the State Fairgrounds.
And what was it called?
It was the competition. I don't remember the
It's just
exact
called
name.
The Competition?
It was a competition where they had show horses. So they had the horses who were they had the people riding the horses were dressed up almost in that like Renaissance looking thing. So they were dressed up. The horses were doing.
They were dressed up as Renaissance?
The horses were doing little dances and trotting, and they were all graded on that. And then they had a harness horse division, and these harness horse racers came out, and they were all just going around the track. They weren't racing. They were showing the harness horse.
Fred? How do you know Fred?
Because he won, and then he does a victory lap.
How do you remember his name?
Because I remember names. I'm good like that. But he did a victory lap.
Yeah.
So Fred won, and then he just came around the hole, and everyone's applauding him.
What do you think about this? This was a good suggestion. Myron needs a segment every week where he explains just things that are extremely white, like Myron makes sourdough bread.
I've never made sourdough bread, so I couldn't explain it. I don't know anything about sourdough bread.
I kind of like that, though.
Nah.
I like that we would have you go do the whitest things possible, and then you explain them in your views. Like you just did that with harness racing, and it came out not close to whatever the sport is.
It was a real.
I would be
fascinated
to see you. Like, I'm trying to think of some other things that would be like that. Maybe going to Railbird today with Zach Topp and Tyler Childers would be one of those things.
Listen, if you want to make that a segment, I'm available to negotiate that. Let's talk about it.
Just go to
Send
one.
Myron to a heavy metal show.
Yeah.
Nah, but I don't. But heavy metals. I mean, I'd be cool with that. Like, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I know, like Megadeth and
maybe like
what is it? Hamstein.
I got one
what's
for
that?
you.
What's that group's name?
Polo. We
Huh?
send you to Polo, where they're on the horses. And
No,
they
here's
hit
the problem. Here's the problem with that idea.
croquet.
You got to send me to places where they'd actually let me in, and they wouldn't just call the authorities.
I think it would be funny to send you to a croquet tournament.
I'm not going to croquet.
You're not going. Well, all right.
Yeah, mate. But I mean, what I just told you was real. What I just told you was the very real.
Myron, can I ask a quick follow-up?
Yeah.
Was this at the state fair?
No, just on the grounds. Like, they do a lot of
on the
events
grounds.
at the state fair.
Okay.
So you went there. On
My
purpose.
daughter's into horses. Yeah, my daughter's into horses.
Oh,
So
your
I just-
daughter's into horses. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
well,
She
that's
takes lessons and everything. Yeah.
from Fred.
Not from Fred. From Mark. Mark next door. He does lessons.
Oh, Mark next door.
He's got a horse ranch. I can see it from my house. He's got a horse ranch.
Okay, Sarah Pagelin. So you can see a horse race from a horse from
Go
your
up the
house.
hill. You go up the hill. Mark has horses, so he's got a whole horse ranch up there, man.
There you go. Matt Myron's here on ESPN Radio. They have a special guest for us today to talk to, and I'm going to have to guess who it is. It is Guess That Wildcat, a former Kentucky Wildcat. We'll figure out who that is. Plus, we're going to preview the World Cup today. Myron says he has no interest in the World Cup, but I'm going to make him interested because it starts on Thursday. That's next here on Matt Myron on ESPN Radio.
Coming up on the Monday edition of Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Michelle Smallman, and me, Chris Canty. From the finals to the Stanley Cup and everything else in between, I'll react to it all in my Upon Further Review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekend mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Grainger knows when you're a procurement manager for an office park, you're not managing one building, you're managing all of them. And to stay ahead, you need to see through walls and around corners. Lights about to fail, filters ready to clog, HVAC on its last leg. If you wait until something breaks, you're already behind. Count on Grainger for quality products, easy reordering, and 24/7 support. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Buster Olney here for La Quinta by Wyndham. Summer work travel can feel like extra innings. Long days, late nights, and not a lot of room to stretch out, especially when your hotel room feels more like the dugout than the clubhouse. But when you stay at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can step up to spacious suites that give you room to relax, recharge, and get ready for the next day. I always feel like I need that when I'm traveling on the road covering ball games. Plus, you can earn Wyndham Rewards points with every qualified stay. Because when you've got space to unwind, you're always playing at your best. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book your next work trip at laquinta.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Harry Douglas here to help you get in on the sweet life with Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy. It's that classic throwback cotton candy flavor, but with zero sugar and a 5-hour energy boost. I keep these with me so I can tackle that sweet tooth with a tasty caffeine kick and no guilty sugary aftermath. Bring on the sweetness with Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy Shots. Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy. Available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
I like things my way, my coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo pre-filled syringe, which contains efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART myway.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
Smalls here. If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds can turn into sinus infections that last weeks, ruining your perfect vacation getaway. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and a pharmacy, it's stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy at home. It includes prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of illnesses. So if you wake up sick, at home, or on the road, you have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, and no pharmacy lines. Also, no copays. Match your symptoms to the right prescription prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor. Start meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs a medical emergency kit, so order yours online in minutes. It's shipped right to your door. Save $45 with my promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. That's promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls.
Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
Is Matt Myron here on the ESPN Radio. People are writing in to talk about places we could send Myron to get his expertise on, since he did such a good job with the harness racing. One person suggests, what if, back in the day, ESPN used to have NHRA drag racing. What if Myron did the sideline reporter?
Oh, I'd love that. I want to go to that. I want to go to NASCAR.
Whatever happened to NHRA? I feel like when I was a kid, you could always turn on. There was some version of a force,
11
some
p.m.
generation of a force,
Yeah.
and they would be. Where is NHRA racing? They still do that?
It was on 11 p.m. every single night.
Yeah,
like you could find it every single night.
I loved it because they'd race, and then a big balloon would come out the back.
Yep.
Which
Yeah,
I always
loved
thought, is that really the best way to stop a car?
I don't know.
Was with the big balloon?
It was on every night. The drag race.
Do they even still do it? I feel like
know.
I haven't seen it on TV. Did it end with COVID?
I don't. They do a lot of that stuff on like YouTube now. Like there's a lot of like
YouTube
people,
NHRA racing.
like drag racing. People do it privately, and it's a big thing.
I'm talking about sanctioned events.
No, but people do a lot of often. But maybe that's what hurt the NHRA.
Here's another one. What if we sent Myron to a Renaissance fair? Have you ever been to a Renaissance fair, Myron?
Man.
I can see that. Where people dress up.
What year is the Renaissance? What year was that?
1500, something like that. Yeah.
Absolutely not. Y'all love everything like 1884 and before that. I don't know. That's not.
Yeah, but the Renaissance fair, they'll sword fight. Yeah. Right, and they'll like have Lancelot and all those.
I don't want to deal with people who
joust. They joust. Yes.
If you're doing Halloween every day, I don't really know that that's my crowd. Like the whole dress up thing. I don't. You're
not going to do Renaissance,
but I've been to the Renaissance fair. I've been there.
Okay. Well, we're going to have a guest on today. Happens every once in a while, and when they do, it's a Kentucky person, and I have to guess them. It's Name Your Wildcat.
It's time for Name That Wildcat with Matt and Myron.
All right, so this is a former Kentucky player. Presume it could be any sport.
Yeah.
Usually it's basketball, but it could be any sport here. James, you want me to guess who this is, so I guess, are you going to give me a couple hints?
Yeah, I got some clues here.
Okay.
I mean, if anyone's going to know who it is, it's going to be you.
Okay, I'll do my best.
All right. So, first off, pretty broad one. Born in 2002.
All right, so born in 2002. So we're talking about 24 years old. So that gets me in the mindset. 24 years old. That would mean they were at Kentucky like 2021, 2020, 22. So, I mean, if I'm just guessing, we're in the era that we weren't good at basketball this era. So, I don't know. Maybe Cason Wallace for the NBA Finals?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not on the right track at all right now.
Okay.
Will Levis?
SEC All-Freshman Team in 2021.
SEC All-Freshman Team.
However, it can be any sport.
I understand. Well, our basketball team, that was literally the worst year we've ever had. So, unless it was B.J. Boston, I don't think.
What about women's basketball?
Women's basketball. Oh, is it Ryan Howard?
Is it Ryan?
It is not, no.
Okay. Then I don't know. You're going to have to give me another guess.
All right. This person, 3-time All-SEC first team from 2022 to 2024.
3-time?
3-time.
No basketball player stayed long enough.
No.
To be 3-time.
Football.
3-time?
Football, I don't think we were good enough.
It's got to be a baseball. It's got to be baseball. It's got to be a baseball player.
Yeah, first team, though.
3 years in a row.
I mean, Ryan Howard was probably first team 2 or 3 years, but you've already told me it's not her.
Who's the guard? The
George Amore. She was only there 1 year, though. She wouldn't have done it for 3 years. All right, give me one more, and then I'll see if I can get it.
All right. I do have a couple more. Name to the national team, the U.S. national team, in the 2023 Pan Am Games.
Name to the national
Has to be
team?
baseball. Has to be baseball.
Well, but even on baseball, I mean, there's that guy we have that's in that plays for like the Diamondbacks system. Yeah,
Baseball.
I think you're making this up. When you say Kentucky, do you mean Kentucky sports?
Yes,
Could this be
Kentucky
science?
sports. No.
Academics?
Sports.
Okay.
3-time SEC, all SEC.
Do you give up?
No, you said you had one more.
All right.
I'll do one more.
All right. This person was named MVP of the league that they play in, their inaugural season in 2025.
Okay, well, that would
Inaugural
be...
season. Of the sport?
Of this league.
So what? There's an inaugural softball league that started last year. There's a...
Well, I mean, okay, so if that's the inaugural season in softball, the problem is I don't know that I would know. And the Softball World Series is going on. Or no, it's over now.
It's got to be either a softball player. They also started a new, I believe,
UFL
volleyball league, too.
Okay, so volleyball. Now, there you go. Now, because we've been really good at volleyball. All right, I'm going to give. Who is it?
Meyer was on the right track. The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is the inaugural season last year. Aaron Koffel from the Chicago Bandits and former Kentucky Wildcat softball player was named the inaugural season's MVP. She'll be joining us.
I didn't know that. I mean, I remember that name when she was here, but I did not know. Well, see, I just learned something. So what's the name of the league again?
It's the Athletes Unlimited Softball League.
Okay, and she plays for the Chicago Bandits?
Chicago Bandits, yep.
Okay. Well, there you go. So she is she's going to be our guest on here, and she was a Wildcat. There you go, Myron. I had no idea.
Well, when he said inaugural, I knew that either softball or I think volleyball has a new league.
How do you know all the inaugural leagues? Like, do you keep track of what leagues are going on in all the sports?
Well, that was a big deal, though. I mean, the softball, because, you know, Softball World Series has been getting so much attention, and now you get a lot of, like, stars who are going to go into the league. So
people are suggesting other places I can send you. He did say this, in Eastern Kentucky, they have a lot of cockfighting rings. Is that something you would be interested in going to?
No. Nope. I don't think I should be a part of that.
What about Hillbilly Days? We talked about that before in Pikeville.
No, I don't think nobody wants me.
Was that bare knuckle fighting thing? Maybe I will go cover that.
We can do that. That's right. We're going to talk about the World Cup and some more NBA. That's next here on Mad Meyer.
Coming up Monday on The Rich Eisen Show, we'll talk about the latest in the Stanley Cup Final and the NBA Finals, which has a Game 3 on Monday night. Chris Fowler, my longtime friend from ESPN, will check in. And we'll also have Tony Hale in studio. That's Monday's Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like with just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion at checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
No days off when you love what you're doing. Sundays are the best day of the week because you're just one day away from First Take returning Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
I could absolutely see a world where the division cannibalizes itself and the Rams end up being the odd team out. Now, certainly they're not banking on that, but it is completely plausible. History is not kind to the darlings of the offseason that everybody expects to be in the Super Bowl in February before the games even kick off.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. This is Freddie and Harry.
You get to go to San Antonio. You know it's down there, Chuck.
You know my nickname down in San Antonio. Everybody calls me Slim when I'm walking around down there. So
then when you get to New York, you get all the street meat you want in New York, Chuck.
I'm getting that street meat. I want that yellow rice, squeeze that white sauce on it, and I'm going to eat it, man.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. The Rich Eisen Show.
Albert Breer here on The Rich Eisen Show. What in the heck happened with A.J. Brown in Philadelphia?
Personal frustration with the quarterback, personal frustration with the offense, and we expect guys to be the ultimate competitor when it comes to team performance, but I think they can shut it off when it comes to individual performance. The reality is all these guys are concerned about their legacies, and I think A.J. Brown felt like he was being held back.
The Rich Eisen Show from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus. This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Good Sunday morning. Men's singles final at Roland Garros. No Carlos Alcaraz due to injury. He's the defending champ. Novak Djokovic and Jannik Sinner both eliminated early. Number 2 seed Alexander Zverev with an open bracket looking for his first major title against number 10 seed Flavio Cabali. Zverev taking the first set 6-1. Cabali coming back to take the second set 6-4. Zverev has reached 4 major finals, but still looking for his first win. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final wrapped up. Vegas had 4 in the first. Carolina with 4 in the third to tie it up and force overtime. Double OT. Shea Theodore, the game winner. Vegas takes a 2-1 series lead. Mitch Marner making some history with a second period hat trick. 10 goals this postseason. Had 10 in his entire career with the Toronto Maple Leafs. ESPN Radio's TJ Oshie thinking a change of scenery has done Marner well.
Well, it's been perfect. And sometimes people say a change of scenery, but really it's just a change of culture. You're moving into a culture that Vegas' first year in the league, they go to the finals. And
yeah, but they lost 4 straight.
That was a fun year for me. But so that's just all they know is getting to playoffs and trying to go on runs, and a lot of times they do go on runs.
Oshie on SportsCenter with SVP. Game 4, Tuesday night in Vegas.
Coming up on Monday's Rich Eisen Show, we check in on the weekend in sports, the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup Final, and we'll have Chris Fowler on the program and throw open our in-studio doors for the actor Tony Hale. That's Monday's Rich Eisen Show on Disney Plus, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
This is on ESPN's Matt and Myron Radio.
And that guard 6'4" from Kentucky,
Matt Jones.
Do they do a gun at the horse race?
They don't do a gun. What if they were like being raised in L.A.? Are they supposed to run every time they hear a gunshot?
I don't think these horses are in a place where they're going to hear frequent gunshots.
Myron Metcalf.
one of these kids like an up-and-comer from a tough neighborhood. A horse that came from a bad part of town.
There's some Cinderella stories. He raised the horse on the problematic, as you would say, side of town.
Horse just got out of a tough stable, and now he's trying to turn his life around. And, come on, man.
I like the idea of a horse that just grows up in the city and then works its way up and ends up in the Preakness.
Adopted by a family in the country. Shown the finer things in life.
It's like the blind side, but horses.
Matt and Myron on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
I kept waiting for that story yesterday at the Belmont. Didn't happen. Unfortunately. Matt and Myron is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can. The World Cup starts on Thursday, and it is the biggest event in the world, and it's coming to America. And there have been a lot of talk about ticket prices and transportation and visas and all the things off the field, because there's a lot of issues, obviously, with the event. But there's also going to be soccer, and this is the largest World Cup of all time. 48 teams, 100 games, 40 more games than we've ever seen at the World Cup here. And, Myron, I think it's very important for us, soccer aficionados like you and me, to preview it for people and to give them a sense of what's coming.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Well, you don't seem excited about it.
No, I'm excited for the World Cup. I mean, it's a lot of countries. It's a lot of teams.
48. All right, so let me explain to you the system. They divide the 48 teams into 12 groups of 4. Okay, 12 groups of 4. If you are in first or second in the group of 4, you move on to the next round. And then the top 8 third-place finishers, they move on as well. So first, second, and the 8 top third-place finishers. You got that?
Okay, that's a lot. It's a lot of teams.
It's a lot of math, right? Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably too many, but that's okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you the group. We're going to do half of them now and half of them in the next hour. I'm going to give you the group, and you are going to tell me, Myron, who's going to win the group. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, Group A. It includes, to the south of us, one of the hosts, Mexico. They will play the very first game of the World Cup. They are joined by South Africa, South Korea, and Czechia. South Africa, South Korea, Czechia, and Mexico. 4 different continents represented. Who you got?
Czechia. Okay.
That's like the Czech Republic, but now we call it Czechia.
Okay, Mexico gets to play in Mexico, right?
They're playing all their games in Mexico. That's right.
I don't know. I mean, if this is like the NFL, right? The home team always has an advantage. I don't know if that's a thing in soccer.
Well, in Mexico, one of the things that helps them is it's going to be very hot. Yep. Some of these teams are not going to be used to the heat. Some of them are already sort of talking about how hot it is. And then altitude.
Yeah.
You know, Mexico City is very so you could say Mexico has quite a home field advantage.
Like boxing, like all the Mexican boxers who trained at altitude had an advantage. So I'll say Mexico. It feels like Mexico's in the best spot. Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to say Mexico as well. This is a very balanced group below Mexico. But I would say Mexico is the best team in it, of that group. And of those, we're also going to play, of these 4 countries, which one would you want to visit? Myron, Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, or Czechia? You could visit one. Which one would you like to visit?
My sister lives in Mexico. So I go to Mexico. I'll stick with Mexico.
I've been to Mexico and South Africa. I'd like to go to a different place. I've been to Czechia. So I think I would go to South Korea because it's the one that I haven't been to. Group B. Canada, another one of the hosts. They are in their first tournament in a while. They are joined by Bosnia and Herzegovina. They play together. Qatar and Switzerland. Who do you like in that group? A group that's kind of considered to be wide open.
I don't know. I mean, again, Canada's playing in Canada, right? I mean,
they are playing in Canada. That's right. But it's there's not as much home field in Canada. It's still just Canada.
Yeah. But Qatar has that money. They could play with the books a little bit, right? Like you gotta, Qatar can kind of slide somebody
you still have to win on the field.
Yeah, but Qatar can slide somebody a couple M's, right, and kind of change the outcome. I'm not accusing them of anything. I'm just saying.
Are you already accusing?
No, I'm not accusing.
Sounds
I'm
like
just saying they're in a position to do that.
Sounds accusatory to
I'll
me.
go with Canada. But if something funny happens in that group, I'm just telling you.
All right. I'm going to take Switzerland. I think Switzerland, it's neutral, and they've been able to they're not been conflicted with things. So I'm going to take Switzerland. Which of those would you rather visit? I'll let you visit one of them.
Qatar. Yeah. I want to go to Qatar.
You're going to go to Qatar?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The extravagance.
You are really driven by money, aren't you? Switzerland is absolutely beautiful.
Driven, but.
Switzerland is absolutely beautiful, so I would take them. Group C, Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. By the way, the Haiti-Scotland match is going to be one of the great clash of cultures in the history of the World Cup. Hello, Haiti. Hello, Scotland. Enjoy each other. Who are you taking in this one?
I hope they play that match early in the day, because if you play a late match with Haiti and Scotland and they've had all day to get after it, you better have some extra security
matchup.
for that one. I'll always take Brazil. Like I don't have to know anything about Brazil.
I'm going to take
Neymar.
Brazil. Yes, he's back. I'm going to take Brazil as well.
Right?
He's old. Yeah, he is old. Which one of those countries would you rather visit?
Oh, Carnival, Brazil. I have a buddy who wants me to come down there to Carnival. So
what would you do at Carnival, Myron?
Man, I just take in the scene, man.
Just get the vibe going?
Just get the vibes, man.
All right, I'm going to Scotland. I've enjoyed, Scottish people are the most fun people.
There's a bit of a theme happening with the countries you're taking, by the way.
What are you talking about? I said South Korea.
Oh, yeah, you did say South Korea. Okay. You said I wasn't sure.
Guessing I'm only going to Europe?
Well, you were talking about Switzerland, how great they were, and how incredible Scotland is.
You don't have to be rude.
I'm just saying.
I just would like to go to Scotland.
Okay.
Group D, the United States of America. Stars and Stripes. We play Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. Who you got?
Paraguay. I'll take Paraguay.
You're taking Paraguay. Why are you picking Paraguay?
I think that group is actually evenly matched.
It's pretty even. All four teams have a shot. Yes.
So I don't know. I feel like
you're not going to pick the country you're in.
I'm doing this as if I'm trying to win money on it, right? Like if I were,
and you're going to take Paraguay.
Well, the United States hasn't consistently been great, right?
Yeah. I bleed red, white, and blue. Unlike my Paraguayan friend there,
okay.
I'm taking the U.S. You take Paraguay. Which one would you want to visit of those?
I'll stick with Australia.
Me too. Australia, it's the longest flight in the world, but I'd love to go to Australia. I've actually never been. Let's go to. By the way, Turkey, you could go and get a hair transplant.
People are doing that. Have you seen that?
A lot of people do it. Yeah. I don't know why they go there though. Why not go somewhere else? What do they have in Turkey that's so good?
Fewer questions when you walk into the office. It's just you just put a pile of money on the counter and they just there's no.
Yeah, okay. Maybe there's less questions. Yeah. Group E, Germany plays Curacao, who's never been, the smallest country to ever make the World Cup. Ivory Coast and Ecuador. Very diverse in Group E. Who you got?
I mean, Ecuador, I believe, has a really good defensive team. I think that'll be an important part of how they. Okay. But I mean, Germany's always good. I think Germany's one of the top teams in the field. I'll take the Germans.
I'm going to take the Germans as well. But which one are we going to visit? 4 very different places to visit. I'm not picking Germany, counter to what you would think. I'm not picking Germany. I've been to Germany a bunch. I've never really had fun. I would go to Curacao, right? Like party in Curacao.
I'd go to Ecuador just because I want to experience being on the equator. And what that.
Why do you want to experience being
I just want to say I was at the equator. That'd be cool.
Do what? What's so great about the equator?
Being on the equator, like the hottest place usually on the planet. That's what I want to do.
That's where you're picking. You just want to be where the equator is.
I want to be able to say I went to the equator. Yeah.
Okay. What a bizarre choice. Group F, finally, for this half of the preview, the Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. Okay? All places that people like to visit. Where are you going?
I was at a store in Vegas earlier this year, and I really love the Japan jersey, so I bought one. So I have a Japan national team.
You have a Japan jersey.
I have a Japan national team jersey, so
Really?
I gotta go with Japan. Gotta go with Japan.
What made you buy a Japan jersey?
It matched the shoes I was wearing, so I paired it with the shoes and I bought it. And yeah, it's a really cool jersey.
All right, there you go. I'm going to take the Netherlands. The Big Orange Crush gets it done. But if I was going to visit one, Myron, I'm visiting Japan. That's probably the next country I would like to visit. So I'm going to Japan. How about you?
Yeah, Japan would be on my list too.
All right, there you go. So we've picked our first 6 groups. We've seen a theme in what Myron likes, which is what matches his shoes. And I've given you the actual picks that can win the groups.
You're giving us NATO, basically. Matt wants to go. Look, Matt's trying to go to a treaty meeting or something.
Stop it. I'm going to South Korea and Japan. You watch your mouth.
You negotiating for us or something?
Sunday Headlines is next.
This weekend on ESPN Radio.
Alex Bregman.
One of baseball's great ballparks, 2 historic teams, and a weekend built for drama. The Giants at the Cubs. Coverage begins tonight at 7:30 Eastern. With first pitch at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Grainger knows when you're a procurement manager for an office park, you're not managing one building. You're managing all of them. And to stay ahead, you need to see through walls and around corners. Lights about to fail, filters ready to clog, HVAC on its last leg. If you wait until something breaks, you're already behind. Count on Grainger for quality products, easy reordering, and 24/7 support. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Buster Olney here for La Quinta by Wyndham. Summer work travel can feel like extra innings. Long days, late nights, and not a lot of room to stretch out, especially when your hotel room feels more like the dugout than the clubhouse. But when you stay at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can step up to spacious suites that give you room to relax, recharge, and get ready for the next day. I always feel like I need that when I'm traveling on the road covering ball games. Plus, you can earn Wyndham Rewards points with every qualified stay. Because when you've got space to unwind, you're always playing at your best. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book your next work trip at laquinta.com. Terms and conditions apply.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the VivGuard Hytrulo prefilled syringe, which contains F-gartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VivGuardMyWay.com. That's VYVGART MyWay.com. And talk to your doctor about VivGuard Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
Forget about the things I said when I was drunk.
It is Matt Myron here on ESPN Radio. Text machine 772-774-5255. 4 people writing in. One person writes, Matt, my brother lives in Ecuador. It's amazing. It's a lot better than just the equator. Tell Myron to come see him. Here you go. How about that?
Well, why does their brother live in Ecuador? I wonder. But yeah, I do.
Because he wants to live. Wait, what business is it of yours? He just wants to live in Ecuador. You want to visit it?
Okay, I just
One person says people go to Turkey for their hair transplant because it's thousands of dollars cheaper, and they even pay for you to make the flight and put you up in a hotel. How about that?
I don't believe that. I don't believe.
What do you mean you don't believe it?
I don't believe they book your flight.
I think they do. I think it's like a whole thing. Like they bring you, they fly you, they put you up, then you get the hair transplant, then you go back. That's kind of like it's a whole package.
Wow. Well, yeah,
you're thinking about it, aren't you? You're thinking about it.
I want that. I want that beard implant. So I mean,
well, if they could do it on the top of your head, they could do it on your face.
Yeah.
I think you should go to Turkey for a beard transplant. We can take the show.
You think they really do all that? They fly you out to give you the transplant?
I think they do. Honestly, I don't think that's wrong. I think they fly you out, they put you up in a hotel, and I think people say it's cheaper to do that than to do it in America, and you get to go to Turkey.
What are the surgeon's credentials?
Well, see, that's what would worry me. I don't know what Turkish medical schools are like.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking the system, but I don't know enough.
Yeah, that would be my worry. I understand. I think that's reasonable. It is now time for stories beyond just the world of Turkish hair plants. It is headlines.
Extra, read all about it.
The Sunday headlines.
All right, what's up first, James?
Yeah, Matt, you tweeted earlier this week a picture of two people kissing on the shut-down I-65 in Kentucky. But that's not really the biggest story coming out of there. It's the Louisville can opener.
Yeah.
Which semi-trucks obviously being detoured around I-65, which is shut down. And some of them are trying to go under a bridge that's too low for them to go under and getting the tops of their trucks ripped.
So I-65 has been it's being shut down for 2 months for construction. So they're making all the traffic go through the city, which is causing all kinds of fun and excitement. But right next to U of L, and you all should look this up. Look up Louisville Bridge, can opener. And the bridge is too low, and the semis try to go under it, and they get their top chopped off by the bridge. This happened 5 times in one day last week. It's become like people just sit outside their house and watch semi-trucks lose the top of their roof, Myron. It's quite exciting things here in Kentucky, along with the interstate shut down, people sitting in the middle of the interstate and making out.
Yeah, I mean, you could live there if they shut it down for 2 months. I've never heard of a city shutting down a highway for 2 months. I mean, that's incredible in and of itself. But I'm also not surprised that truck drivers are trying to go under the bridge when they were told they can't make it. Right? There's arrogance in the semi-truck driving community.
What?
That I think people may not understand.
You think semi-truck drivers are arrogant?
Next to people on bikes who think they're cars and guys on motorcycles, they're number 3. In terms of road arrogance, there's a little bit of that, and not all semi-truck drivers. I know there's some great ones listening, and they're kind, but there's some guys who they like to show you that they own the road.
It sounds like to me you are anti semi-truck driver. I would think we have a lot of listeners right now that are semi-truck drivers.
I am not a truckist. I am someone who knows that. And it's not all of them. It's not all truck drivers. So I don't want anyone to think that. But there's a certain kind of truck driver who likes to remind you that they can do whatever they want on the highway.
So how do these truck drivers, to you, showcase their arrogance?
There was a guy the other day. I'm in traffic. He goes from the left lane to the right lane, just in the middle of traffic. Didn't need any pay. Wasn't trying to make sure there was room to go. He just said, I'm going to the right lane, and everybody has to bow down to me because I drive a truck. And there's a lot of that in that community. Not all, certainly not all. I'm not a truckist, but there's enough to make you go, there's a little bit of arrogance in the truck driving community.
This is amazing to me. I want to take up for truck drivers. They are literally the people that keep this economy going. Right?
Important people.
Roll on highway, roll on the long, roll on daddy till you get back home. That's what the truck drivers do. And you are claiming they're arrogant. That's, I think, astounding to me.
They are essential to what we do, which only adds to the arrogance for some of them. Because they know how important they are. They know if they don't get to point B, that it's going to be a problem for everybody in America. There's a little bit of road arrogance there, though.
That sounds truckist to me. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not a truckist. Don't call me a truckist.
It sounds truckist.
I'm not a truckist.
All right, well, let me just, I'm going to put this out then. If you disagree with if you're a truck driver, 888-SAY-ESPN, or even if you're not, are truck drivers arrogant? Myron is taking the position that they are, along with, by the way, you're throwing bikers and motorcyclists.
The people on bikes who think they're cars. The people on bikes who think they're cars should be prosecuted.
Well, what's your problem with motorcyclists? Have you not seen Sons of Anarchy? I would not mess with those people.
Listen, man, just because you put on a jacket and you're 53 don't mean you're in a gang. You know? So it's not all. Like, I know some real bikers, and I'm not messing. But I also know some guys who just took it up like 3 years ago, and they got a jacket that nobody sponsored. I'm talking about those guys specifically. Not everybody. But I know some guys who just picked up a motorcycle, and they're like, look at me, I got a jacket. The Sons of Anarchy dudes, those dudes are tough. I don't mess with those dudes. Earl, who just picked up a bike 3 years ago, and now all of a sudden he's going cross country with a jacket, like...
All right, 888-SAY-ESPN. If you agree or disagree with Myron that truckers are arrogant, I want to hear from you because I need Myron to defend that position. Unbelievable. What's next?
Oh, boy, these phone lines.
Are they lighting up?
Oh, my God.
I love it. That's what I knew it. He starts with his truck driving stuff.
I'm not a truckist. Don't accuse me of that.
What's next?
Elmo from Sesame Street is getting relentlessly cyberbullied by Knicks fans after he posted on Twitter, Elmo hopes both teams have fun.
Yeah,
Replies included, this isn't the time for sportsmanship, Elmo. These streets ain't sesame.
These streets ain't sesame.
Someone wrote, sure, Elmo, with a little picture of, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Yeah. And probably one of the harshest ones, don't you dare forget your roots, you little red bleep.
Oh.
By the way, answer these calls because I got to hear the truckers. While you're doing that, Myron, Elmo is just trying to say something nice. I hope everybody, because, you know, Elmo's for everybody. He's not just for New York. He's for San Antonio, too. I feel like people being a little harsh to Elmo.
Yeah, but Elmo set himself up. You know, if you're going to put that out there in a polarizing moment, you kind of got to understand what's at stake. So Elmo doesn't have to comment on everything. Everything doesn't have to be about world peace.
His PR team kicked in. He did put out a second tweet.
Yeah,
what was the second tweet?
It says, Knicks, that last message, Elmo didn't mean to spur you on.
First off,
I like that. That's good.
First off, he still talks and speaks in the third person, which I've had a problem with that from childhood.
He's 3.
I've had a problem with that since child. He speaks in third person. You know, at the end of the day, what are we doing? Give us some numbers, some math problems. Tell us to read our books and take our vitamins or whatever. You don't have to get involved with sports.
When I was a kid, there was the state representative for my county. He tried to put an ad in the newspaper for the season preview. And he said, his name was Mike. He says, Mike hopes all mountain teams win every game. And I was like, you can't say that. They play each other.
You can't do that.
You can't
stay out of it.
Just stay out of it. Yeah. Or pick a team. But you can't wish Elmo, we can't all win.
Oh, man.
You got to pick one.
Like, read us a story, man. We don't need you. We don't care what you think about the Knicks.
So Myron has gone after truckers, motorcyclists, and Elmo. That's what happens on Sunday headlines. We will likely hear from some truckers and more next.
All the dunks.
Ananobi catches under the basket, goes up and slams it home.
The dimes.
Harper lifts it for Castle and flies in for the alley-oop.
The daggers.
Hit it at the horn. Victor Wembanyama.
The NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Gusto.
You love your land. During Kubota Orange Days, you'll love all the great deals. With versatile compact tractors, professional-grade mowers, and durable utility vehicles, Kubota equipment can help you turn dream projects into reality. Kubota Orange Days is here, and so are the best deals of the year. Now through June 30th, get select compact tractors with 0% financing available or save up to $5,500. Sale ends soon. Go to KubotaOrangeDays.com or stop by your local dealer for more information.
In a contracting business, you're either growing or you're grinding. Success is no longer about hard work alone. It's about using AI to accelerate impact. Service Titan is the only integrated intelligence that seamlessly automates your entire workflow, from first call to final invoice. Born in the trades, built for visionaries ready to stop operating and start automating. Service Titan, AI for the trades.
Harry Douglas here to help you get in on the sweet life with Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy. It's that classic throwback cotton candy flavor, but with 0 sugar and a 5-hour energy boost. I keep these with me so I can tackle that sweet tooth with a tasty caffeine kick and no guilty sugary aftermath. Bring on the sweetness with Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy Shots. Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy. Available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
As families head into summer travel season, there's one thing many people forget to plan for. What happens if someone gets sick when you're away from home? Joining us now is Dr. Peter McCullough with some smart ways to be prepared before summer begins. Doctor, summer is supposed to be relaxing, but travel can come with surprises. So why is summer a time when families should think ahead medically?
Because there's always stress about getting sick on a trip and then ending up in the urgent care.
What are some of the most common issues that families will run into during these summer trips from a medical standpoint?
Various forms of food poisoning or traveler's diarrhea, getting viral upper respiratory tract infections that get too far along and they become a bacterial secondary infection like a bronchitis. Then, of course, usual things like bladder infections, yeast infections.
So what do you recommend people do before they leave on their trip?
Everybody should consider having a medical emergency kit. Nowadays, we can pre-prescribe medications, cover dozens of illnesses ahead of time, and then people can be ready to go if something does happen. We have a guidebook as well as telemedicine available to get help when you're away from home and avoid the urgent care.
So it's really all about preparedness.
Rational readiness. And remember, other things can happen. Wounds, insect bites, poison ivy. We should all be prepared.
Bottom line, summer goes smoother when you prepare before you pack. Dr. McCullough, thank you so much. To learn more, visit urgentcarekit.com. Use the promo code SMALLS to save $45 on your medical emergency kit.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Good Sunday morning. Men's singles final at Roland Garros. Number 2 seed Alexander Zverev looking for his first major title after 4 tries against number 10 seed Flavio Cabali. Zverev taking the first set 6-1. Cabali bouncing back with a 6-4 win in set 2 and a 3-3 tie on serve in set 3. Zverev has reached 4 major finals but still looking for his first victory today. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup final wrapped up. Shea Theodore game winner off the back wall and in 5-4. Vegas takes a 2-1 series lead in double overtime. We're up 4-0. Carolina rallying with 4 straight goals. ESPN NHL analyst Eric Johnson giving Vegas a ton of credit for sticking with it.
They had 2 taken off the board. One with a coach's challenge for goal interference, another for offside. So they put up 7 and had 2 off the board. So give Vegas credit for sticking with it. You have to have a short memory in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Exactly what they did. They find a way to win, and they get a 2-1 series lead.
Vegas scoring 4 times in the second period, including a hat trick from Mitch Marner, the fastest hat trick in the Stanley Cup final at 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Game 4 Tuesday night in Las Vegas. In baseball, another injury for the Yankees. They placed catcher Austin Wells on the IL with cervical headaches. Wells reported neck stiffness leading to a headache, has really struggled with a 533 OPS.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Monday, we'll continue to react to the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup, and get you ready for the World Cup, which kicks off Thursday. It's on Sportsman, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
My name is no. My sign is no. My number is
Matt Myron here on
no.
ESPN Radio, presented by Progressive Insurance. We got lined up some truckers who have some things to say to Myron, as he deserves. But first, We did name that Wildcat, Erin Koffel. She's with the Chicago Bandits, which is Athletes Unlimited Softball League. She was the star from last year, former Kentucky Wildcat. Erin, thank you very much. And I got to tell you, you got a whole audience here, national audience of people who may not know a lot about your league. Tell people about Athletes Unlimited Softball, and then your inaugural season is over. What year 2 is going to be like?
Yeah, of course. Athletes Unlimited Softball League is 6 teams, and we're all based in different cities. I'm a part of the Chicago Bandits. We're located in Rosemont. But, yeah, we're playing a 24-game schedule throughout June and July, and our season starts on Tuesday. So super, super excited. We added 2 new teams this year, so it's a 6-team league now. So we're just competing our tails off and proving what women can do in professional sports.
Erin, the College Softball World Series was just incredible. How does Athletes Unlimited create more opportunities for great college players like yourself?
Yeah, I think it gives athletes the opportunity to continue to play beyond college. You know, when I was committed to Kentucky my freshman year of high school, I thought the 4 years at Kentucky would be it for me. I didn't know there was a possibility, to play beyond that. So it just opens up everything, and it allows, women to actually be professional athletes. And especially from the softball side of things, there wasn't really a stable league before this. So it just gives, college softball athletes the ability to dream beyond their 4 years and to continue to play at the highest level possible.
I do have to ask you, Erin, you were drafted in the 6th round from Kentucky and then were named MVP in the first year. That doesn't happen a whole lot. Did they just sleep on you, Erin? Is that what happened? They didn't watch enough Kentucky games? Where was it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I feel like I've always kind of flown under the radar a little bit, and I kind of like that way, to be honest. And I'm not going to, use my MVP season. I'm not going to put expectations on myself this year either. I think I'm just going to continue to stay dialed into the moment and to the process, and I think that's what has gotten me here, so I'm going to continue to do that.
What are some of the things that people can expect in the second year of this league compared to the inaugural season?
Yeah, I think they can expect to see, obviously, more games on ESPN. I think we have close to 51 games on ESPN networks this year, so I think that is something softball is going to be on all summer long, just as it was in the spring. And then, again, you're going to see the best of the best athletes in the world right here. The fact that we expanded to 2 new teams beyond our 4 from last year, it gives more athletes a chance, and it gives, the audience a chance to really see these are the best of the best softball players in the nation and across the world. So I think you're going to see some really, really great softball, and that's what you can expect.
The games will be on ESPN networks and the ESPN app. Opening night is June 9th. Erin Koffel, first of all, give me a go Cats. You're a big blue like me. Let's go. Let's do it. Is Mark Pope going to get it done this year, by the way?
Yes, I think so. I believe in him. Go Cats.
I love it. Erin Koffel, she is with the Chicago Bandits, part of the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. Thank you very much. And as a fellow Wildcat, I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. I'll do anything for the Cats.
There you go. Listen to that. See, that's loyalty right there, Byron. That's what we have in the Big Blue Nation. Athletes Unlimited starts June 9th on ESPN networks and the ESPN app. You don't even understand that because you're not part of Big Blue Nation, Byron.
No, I don't know the chants and the stuff I've heard them all, though.
And you don't feel the loyalty, unfortunately. But you did take a shot at truck drivers.
That's honest.
All across America. And a lot of them are wanting to weigh in. You said they were what? Arrogant, selfish? Is that what you said?
It's an arrogant community. I think on the road arrogance.
Yeah, you're starting to back down already. Chris in Boston is going to go. Chris, what do you have to say to him?
Yeah, I kind of agree with them. Like, truck drivers are the worst, honestly. My brother is a truck driver and can barely read, and I don't understand. I mean, like, he can barely read, so, like, he has no self-awareness. He's arrogant. He just thinks he's like the best driver at all. But I'm always like, you can barely read. How are you able to even drive a truck?
Wait a minute. These are very harsh things to say about your brother.
That sounds like a family dispute more than anything.
Do you get along with your brother?
Oh yeah, I totally do. But he's just he.
But he can't read.
He just thinks he can. Well, barely.
Is he a little arrogant about driving a truck though? Does he? Is that arrogance? Can you see that with him?
Oh yeah, he thinks he's like the greatest driver in the world. Like he even thinks he can drive a car well, and he's had like 6 accidents. I don't even know how they even let him have a car, like a truck still. So,
well, thank you very much. I appreciate the call. So first, wow, family members coming out against truck drivers.
Yeah.
Let's try Kendall in Texas. Kendall, what do you think?
Hey, I got to agree with Myron too, but I think it's more of a generational deal. I've been out here over 25 years.
Okay.
And a lot of these newer drivers, there's a fine line between arrogance and ignorance.
Yeah. So the new generation, they don't have the same respect for the rules of the road, or why are they more arrogant?
They're not. I mean, they're not trained.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not trained. They're not trained, and 80% of the drivers that are out here today, they can't drive more than an automatic truck. They don't know how to drive a truck.
See, there's a difference. Yeah, they don't know. Okay. They don't know the manuals. Let me ask you a question. One of the things Byron said was, y'all think you own everything because you get to stop at the gas stations and take showers. I thought that wasn't fair.
I didn't say that. I didn't say. I said, you do kind of take things over. Those arrogant drivers, not everybody. I'm fine with the non-arrogant, but there's some of those guys kind of take over the place.
Appreciate the call. Randy in North Carolina. Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, I just want to say I love the show. Y'all make me cry so hard I laugh every Sunday morning.
Thank you.
I travel from Raleigh to Wilmington about every other day.
Okay.
I guess it just depends on where you are. North Carolina on 40, that travel. I think they're more arrogant drivers because it's only 2 lanes, and I can't count how many times when the trucker is coming off the exit and the car won't get over in the other left lane because he's got his phone up, as you know, or her has got his phone up, as you know what. But it depends on where you're at. Love the show. Y'all have a good one.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
See, there you go. See, Raleigh to Wilmington drivers aren't as bad because they're in North Carolina. They're probably happy about the Canes, Myron.
Well, no, listen, I understand that, like, they have to adjust a lot, too, but mostly we're afraid. Like, so we're not sure what to do when we see a truck.
Truckers taking up for themselves. Why is everybody being differential?
Because I was right.
Right. Truckers are good people. They are salt of the earth. They go out there. They have to be away from their families. Yes. They drive to get our materials from one end of the country to the other. And you're out here calling them arrogant. You don't say anything about the tech billionaires. Those are your people. Why you got to go after the truck drivers?
Because they're not on the road. They're not driving. Those people are not my concern. I'm just saying, I think a little more self-awareness with the truck driving community. And our first caller said that there's a new generation of guys. Like, you can go down the street from my house right now and get a truck license, I think, in 2 weeks or something like that. So I do think there's less training.
Jeremy in Memphis, come on. You guys, you got to take up for your profession.
Yeah.
I'm going to explain this to you guys, okay?
Okay.
It's really simple. Okay, truckers have a term for regular vehicles. We call them 4-wheelers, right?
Okay.
Well, 80 to 90% of the 4-wheelers on the road do not respect the space that we need to make our maneuvers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay?
Exactly. You all have to handle your rig.
But if you come to the table calling us 4-wheelers, isn't that a little?
But you called them names.
No, I call them truck drivers. I don't have a nickname.
You said they were arrogant.
But I didn't have a nickname for the drivers. They call us 4-wheelers.
Jeremy, explain what you mean by the space you need for your rig.
Okay, you need to get over, change lanes. People are constantly cutting you off. You'll have your blinker on. They won't let you over. So truckers make aggressive moves because we don't discriminate if you're the
Yes.
10 or 20% that are going to let us do what we need to
That's
do.
exactly right. You all are non-discriminatory, whereas Myron is discriminatory.
But like, should you be making aggressive moves driving the cruise ship of the highway? I feel like you should never make any aggressive moves. That's where it gets a little dicey.
I appreciate it, Jeremy. Let's go to Stacy in Alabama. Go ahead, Stacy.
Look, I'm going to tell you, Myron ain't wrong, but he is lacking context.
Okay.
And it's a little bit what Jeremy just said, is part of the truck driving thing is we can't get over unless you leave us a couple of car lengths in front and behind us. And people won't do it.
Okay.
So what do we have to do? We just have to start walking into your lane. And what Myron said is that's a little arrogant. But if we don't start walking our truck into your lane, you won't give us the space to get over. And if we can't get over when we need to, it might add 30 minutes to our day because we missed a turn or missed an exit, and there are limited places we can go.
Tell them about it, Stacy. See, this is all ultimately their arrogance is the four-wheelers like you keeping them from doing their job.
But even the idea of walking the truck into our lane, it sounds pretty pleasant, but experiencing it can be a little scary. When all of a sudden somebody just decides.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been to a truck stop ever in your life?
Yes, I've been everywhere. Yeah.
And what do you do? Do you ever interact with truckers?
All the time.
What do
Truckers
you
love me.
talk about with them?
I'm very good at talking about the weather and the road, and that's all you need.
Okay.
With anybody who drives.
Just 1 second. Let's practice. Let's say I'm Matt the trucker. Okay. I'm wearing, right now I'm wearing a Madisonville trucker hat. Okay. Yeah. I'm wearing a T-shirt, jeans, maybe have a couple stains because I haven't been sleeping much.
Okay.
Myron, interact with me. Come up to me like you would at a truck stop.
Yeah. Construction all over the place, huh? Yep.
Where you been?
Here and there.
That's your interaction. That's what makes you good with truckers.
You didn't tell me what city I was in. Who does a role play about a truck stop in the middle of the show, by the way? Like, that's not something we talked about.
I learned
You just told me to be
Mike
like
and Mike. This is what they used to do on the radio.
I talk about the weather and construction. Most of them are kind, quiet. You know, I don't have any problem at truck stops. What everyone's describing is what they're saying is, if you don't get out of our way, then we'll make a way. And that sounds a little aggressive, which speaks to my point.
888-SAY-ESPN. We'll let other folks have their rounds at Myron. Maybe he can make better conversation with these people. Construction.
I wasn't ready for a role play. You always do it like scenes from Matlock or some show you used to watch as a kid. You want me to play some character.
Myron tries to think of a good movie or TV show. He always comes up with Matlock. Matt Myron is next on ESPN. It's always Matlock. It's like the only show he knows is Matlock here on ESPN Radio.
The NBA Finals on ESPN Radio. The New York Knicks strike again. Now, the series shifts to Madison Square Garden, where the Spurs face a critical Game 3. Coverage begins tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern, with tip-off at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC, presented by Gusto.
Grainger knows when you're a procurement manager for an office park, you're not managing one building. You're managing all of them. And to stay ahead, you need to see through walls and around corners. Lights about to fail, filters ready to clog, HVAC on its last leg. If you wait until something breaks, you're already behind. Count on Grainger for quality products, easy reordering, and 24/7 support. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Buster Olney here for La Quinta by Wyndham. Summer work travel can feel like extra innings. Long days, late nights, and not a lot of room to stretch out, especially when your hotel room feels more like the dugout than the clubhouse. But when you stay at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can step up to spacious suites that give you room to relax, recharge, and get ready for the next day. I always feel like I need that when I'm traveling on the road covering ball games. Plus, you can earn Wyndham Rewards points with every qualified stay. Because when you've got space to unwind, you're always playing at your best. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book your next work trip at laquinta.com. Terms and conditions apply.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment.
So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo prefilled syringe, which contains Efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART MyWay.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. It's a fruity candy flavor explosion, and I mean explosion. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, a zero-sugar treat that's sweet tooth approved. These can take care of my candy cravings and provides a tasty caffeine kick without all the sugar. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get candy-flavored chaos with Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
As families head into summer travel season, there's one thing many people forget to plan for. What happens if someone gets sick when you're away from home? Joining us now is Dr. Peter McCullough with some smart ways to be prepared before summer begins. Doctor, summer is supposed to be relaxing, but travel can come with surprises. So why is summer a time when families should think ahead medically?
Because there's always stress about getting sick on a trip and then ending up in the urgent care.
What are some of the most common issues that families will run into during these summer trips from a medical standpoint?
Various forms of food poisoning or traveler's diarrhea, getting viral upper respiratory tract infections that get too far along and they become a bacterial secondary infection like a bronchitis. Then, of course, usual things like bladder infections, yeast infections.
So what do you recommend people do before they leave on their trip?
Everybody should consider having a medical emergency kit. Nowadays, we can pre-prescribe medications, cover dozens of illnesses ahead of time, and then people can be ready to go if something does happen. We have a guidebook as well as telemedicine available to get help when you're away from home and avoid the urgent care.
So it's really all about preparedness.
Rational readiness. And remember, other things can happen. Wounds, insect bites, poison ivy. We should all be prepared.
Bottom line, summer goes smoother when you prepare before you pack. Dr. McCullough, thank you so much. To learn more, visit urgentcarekit.com. Use the promo code SMALLS to save $45 on your medical emergency kit.
Been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man.
See, that's another thing. They're really good truck driver songs.
The Temptation Road. Oh, man.
No, this is the one where he goes, Louisville, Lexington, Beverly, Babadoo, and he says all the cities, right?
Yeah. This is a good one. There's another one, though. I'll find it. That was a former Temptation Road.
Do you know who sings this right here?
Sounds like Johnny Cash.
It is Johnny Cash.
Yeah,
well done.
Myron
finally gets a country.
That's the first time
one
ever.
Right.
I agree. Like Johnny Cash. I know Johnny Cash.
Let me give you some good truck driving songs.
Okay.
6 days on the road and I'm going to make it home tonight. Do you know that one?
No.
Well, I mentioned earlier, Alabama, roll on highway, roll on along. Do you know that one?
I don't.
What about Teddy Bear? Do you know Teddy Bear? That's a terrible song about a guy who's on a CB radio and the little kid has a teddy bear and they're talking. It's awful. Do you know that one?
No, I don't. That sounds awful.
It is awful. But there's truck driving's a whole thing. And 888-CSPN, I'm going to read one. I got a message on the text machine.
Okay.
Myron is a truckist. And I would go further. I would go further to say that if he walked into a truck stop, he would be scared to death. It's easy for him to talk all this trash behind his radio microphone, but in real life, he wouldn't say anything to a trucker without shivering in his pants.
Well, this isn't helping the argument, though, right? It's not helping. I mean, I would say it. I think
you just go up to a trucker and say y'all are all arrogant.
If they cut me off, if I felt like they were taking up all the lanes, yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, but if they want to fight everybody and if they're making aggressive moves, I don't think they're helping the argument. They're kind of confirming what I'm saying.
Now remember, the one caller and Myron agreed that most truckers couldn't read. So
I didn't say that at all.
Trevor
I didn't
in North Carolina.
Don't put that out there. That caller said that.
Trevor, go ahead, Trevor.
No. Trevor, that caller said that, not me. So don't put that on me. Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
I didn't say that, Trevor. The caller said.
Okay. It's okay because I have two college degrees. I have a pre-med degree, A-level, and a B-level.
A-level and B-level.
Degree.
Great.
Yes.
To the caller. Yes, that's on him. Yep.
So I also have a CDL, and I got a 97 on my driving test.
97.
And
so this has helped you. This is giving you less arrogance or what?
No, so the A-level is a 95 to a 97, and the instructor said that you're not going to make 100 when I took the test when he was riding with me. And I took it in the rain. I'd like you to know that driving in the rain is more dangerous unloaded than anything else you could probably do on the road other than driving on ice.
Yeah. So just to confirm, you have an A-level and a B-level medical degree. You have an A-level truck driving degree, and you drive in the rain, which is harder than anything else. Myron, do you have an answer to this man's qualifications?
So Trevor, do you struggle with confidence? Because it doesn't seem like that's an issue for you, right? Which is a little bit of my point, right?
I guess what I'm saying is I've had more problems with drivers in what the other caller called four-wheelers than I have in drivers with 18.
Exactly.
So, as a former truck driver, since I do Uber full time now,
Uber now.
I would say that it's very difficult to deal with people that have less wheels than those that have more wheels. But I'd like to also say one more thing, if I could, before I go, if you don't mind.
Quickly.
So I said way back in 2025. That I knew that they would survive, and just in case they don't do it in 4, because in Texas,
all right, I appreciate it. I'm not worried about your sports opinions. It's about trucking. All right, this is about trucking.
He called in and said, "I want to make a case that truck drivers aren't arrogant."
That's true.
And he started by saying,
his qualifications.
I have 5 degrees. I aced my test in the rain. Nobody in humanity can drive an unloaded truck in the rain but me.
Yeah.
But yes. You all are the problem. Like they're making my case a little bit.
Yeah, that might have been a point for you there. Let's go to Jay in Mississippi. Go ahead, Jay.
Hey, I just want to say I've been driving since 2011.
Okay.
Myron, you kind of right. Yeah, sometimes we have to, use our truck to do it and get what we want because people that drive four-wheelers, they on their phones. They worried about the kids in the back. They don't see you. So, yeah, you're right sometimes, but, man.
They should be worried about the kids in the back, though, right, Jay?
Yeah, some of the young,
They should be worried about the kids in the back, I think.
Women driving.
Okay, no, we're not getting there. Wait a minute now.
Oh, see, wait a minute.
You're not helping your case. You can't do that.
Look at what just happened.
All right, I appreciate the call.
He called in and said...
That didn't help.
He called in and said, these four-wheelers again, they're worried about, quote, the kids in the back.
Yeah.
As if that's not supposed to be happening.
He said women drive.
And then women drive. Like,
yeah, he didn't help.
I think I have won this.
All right, let's give far. I can't leave it on that one. I can't let that be the last trucker.
I have won this.
Robert and OKC, speak for your community, my friend.
Hey, listen, Myron. It's not the arrogance of the truck driver. I drove trucks for 24 years.
Okay.
Here's the problem. In 2000, the four-wheelers didn't have the distractions because we didn't have internet on the phone. So they were focused on driving, right?
Yes.
In 2008, when they put the internet on the phone, we went wild. Now these arrogant drivers, the 16 to 25-year-old drivers, don't know how to operate around a big rig. They ignore the turn signal. So when you don't focus and look at that big truck because you're too busy worried about an Amazon delivery to your porch, that's the distraction of the four-wheeler. So we don't have an arrogant attitude until you get an arrogant attitude. We need to focus on teaching these 16-year-olds to 25-year-olds how to operate around big rigs. That's all I got.
Appreciate the call.
That's
Mic drop.
That's fair.
It's
That's
all
fair.
the kids' fault and the phones.
There's a lot of distractions. That's fair. That is a part of it.
Yes.
But I also
That was
hope
a good
it's okay
finish,
for us
by
to
the
care
way.
about the kids in the back.
For
You know, I
team
think-
truck driver, he finished strong. The guy going women drivers, maybe that wasn't the way to make the point. Well, good stuff, folks. The NBA Finals, though, is going on. Myron can't keep ignoring it, so we'll do it next here on Matt and Myron on ESPN.
This weekend on ESPN Radio.
Alex Bregman.
One of baseball's great ballparks, 2 historic teams, and a weekend built for drama. The Giants at the Cubs. Coverage begins tonight at 7:30 Eastern, with first pitch at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
In a contracting business, you're either growing or you're grinding. Success is no longer about hard work alone. It's about using AI to accelerate impact. ServiceTitan is the only integrated intelligence that seamlessly automates your entire workflow, from first call to final invoice. Born in the trades, built for visionaries ready to stop operating and start automating. ServiceTitan, AI for the trades.
You love your land. During Kubota Orange Days, you'll love all the great deals. With versatile compact tractors, professional-grade mowers, and durable utility vehicles, Kubota equipment can help you turn dream projects into reality. Kubota Orange Days is here, and so are the best deals of the year. Now through June 30th, get select compact tractors with 0% financing available or save up to $5,500. Sale ends soon. Go to KubotaOrangeDays.com or stop by your local dealer for more information.
No days off when you love what you're doing. Sundays are the best day of the week because you're just one day away from First Take returning Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Jordan Love, through his lack of production and lack of winning in January, would dictate to the organization that they may need to consider a different voice as your head coach. And so something about Jordan Love has to change in order for me to have confidence that this guy is going to get this team into the championship rounds anytime soon.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Men's singles final at Roland Garros rolls on. Number 2 seed Alexander Zverev looking for his first major title against number 10 seed Flavio Cabali. Zverev leads 2-1, taking the first set 6-1. Cabali bouncing back to win the second 6-4. Zverev closing the third 6-4. Cabali up a break in the fourth, 2-1. Game 3 of the NBA Finals coming tomorrow night. The Knicks taking the first 2 in San Antonio. Now headed back to the Garden, 2 wins away from a title. ESPN Stephen A. Smith says the Spurs aren't ready for what's waiting in New York City.
You didn't win at home. Now you're going to go on the road in that environment with that youth. We've seen veterans fold at the Garden. What am I supposed to believe about youthful, exuberant, ignorant young dudes? And I say ignorant in a negative way. I'm just saying they don't know. They don't know what they're about to encounter. This is different.
Stephen A. on the Hoop Collective podcast, Game 3, Monday night, tip just after 8:30 Eastern. Coverage beginning at 7:30 Eastern here on ESPN Radio. Knicks trying to push their winning streak to 14 and get within one game of a title. Stanley Cup final. Vegas Golden Knights win Game 3, outlasting the Canes in double overtime. 5-4. Shea Theodore, the game winner.
Coming up on Monday's Rich Eisen Show, we check in on the weekend in sports, the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup Final, and we'll have Chris Fowler on the program and throw open our in-studio doors for the actor Tony Hale. That's Monday's Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
This is Matt and Myron on ESPN Radio.
And that guard 6'4" from Kentucky,
Matt Jones.
What I like about James Harden is any game you turn on, he might be at any different weight. There's never been anyone in sports whose weight fluctuates more. Literally, in game one, I remember looking and watching him and going, James looks like he's in pretty good shape. And then yesterday, he looked like the day after Thanksgiving James Harden.
Myron Metcalf.
Yeah, every time he walks into the locker room, it's like me when I go home, and they're like, "Oh, you looking good, you know."
He's definitely a guy who prefers the road color jerseys over the home ones.
Yeah, he does. That's the only NBA player when he takes pictures is talking about angles, right? Like you got to shoot him at the right. Like, hold on, man, don't get me from the side, man.
Matt and Myron on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
That's right. That voice you hear, I'm going to hear tonight. That Railbird, Tyler Childers, bringing us into Hour 3. Matt and Myron on ESPN Radio, presented by Progressive Insurance. I've taught you about Tyler over the years, Myron. You want me to say anything to him if I get to say hi to him this evening? Send a message from you?
I wasn't really prepared to give Tyler Childress a message. Hope he supports the show. You ask him about that?
He probably supports the show.
Yeah,
I would think
that's
so.
probably the best he can do for me.
And he's a I wouldn't say he's an acquaintance of mine. Like we say hello. I bet he knows Myron Metcalf. I bet he knows him. So you should know him.
People know me.
People do know you. If you are somebody like me who grew up on SportsCenter, then I'm going to suggest to you This Was SportsCenter, a new interview podcast from Rich Eisen featuring SportsCenter legends. It's available now on Disney Plus, the Rich Eisen Show YouTube channel, and all podcast platforms. This Was SportsCenter is presented by Gusto. I got to watch one of the tapings of This Was SportsCenter at the Super Bowl. They taped with Chris Berman, and I got to go, and it was a great event. The first one, I think, is up now with Dan Patrick, so it's definitely worth everyone a chance to get to look at it.
But what an incredible era, man. It's why I'm here. You know, meeting Stuart Scott changed my life, so it's just amazing.
I don't know that story. How did it change your life?
I was an intern at ESPN, the magazine, living in New York City. Went up to Bristol, and they were like, "Hey, we got a surprise." They brought out all the SportsCenter anchors, everybody. Stuart Scott walks out, and I just was talking to him, and I was like, "Hey, man, I want to do this." One day he's like, "Hey, man, you can do it. You go do it." That's all I needed to hear. Like Stuart Scott.
So you just need a little affirmation.
If Stuart Scott said you can do it, I 100% believed him after that moment, man. So, what a legend for me.
Well, good for you. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, that is on this. It Was SportsCenter. That podcast and the videos are available Disney Plus and on podcast platforms. Now, the Knicks are up 2-0 in the finals. They will play again tomorrow night, and they are a 2.5-point favorite. They lead the series 2-0. Is this going to be a sweep, Myron? Is this going to be New York on Wednesday, dancing all across the city?
I have a hard time believing it'll be a sweep because the games have been so close. I think maybe New York loses one because I think Wemby has the potential to have one of those 40-point, 28-rebound games, but I think it'll be 4-1, and a sweep wouldn't surprise me. I just think New York, coming into this series, and I said this, they had every advantage. Outside of Wemby, where no one is a matchup for Wemby, the Knicks were better everywhere else. They had the better bench, the better supporting cast. They'd won the series in the regular season. The last time they played, coming into this series, the Knicks had destroyed the Spurs. And for the most part, young teams don't win championships in the NBA. So I thought the Knicks had all the advantages, and that experience has been the difference. Late in games, you're seeing a bunch of 22-year-olds versus a bunch of seasoned guys who've been in this moment before.
By the way, just side note, one of the members of Tyler Childers' band just texted me and said, "Please tell Myron hello from Tyler Childers' band." How nice is that?
Tell them I said hello. Oh, wow, they know. I told you I'm known. I'm known in circles that I don't even know.
I don't
understand.
I don't know if I would take from that. Known, they were being polite and saying, "Hey, Myron, nice to." I don't think they were saying, "Look how known you are."
Well, I'm connected to circles that you wouldn't even understand. You know.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. To your point, part of me wonders, listen, I think the Spurs are going to, for the next 8 to 10 years, be a contender. Yeah. Part of me wonders, though, if they just, for whatever reason, and somebody with a high basketball IQ could probably say the reason, they just match up extremely well with OKC. OKC, I think, has had, 22 losses this year, and 8 of them are San Antonio. Like, part of me just wonders, are they a team that's maybe not quite ready, but for whatever reason they could beat OKC, and that's how they got here? And thus the Knicks are, to your point, just better. I mean, basically the only position on paper that you would say San Antonio is better is Wemby, and Carl's outplayed Wemby in the last 2 games. I'm not going to say he's better, but he's outplayed him. So in that scenario, it's not shocking. Now, they won both games on the road. Now they're at home. Does that change the dynamic in any way negative for the Knicks? You wouldn't think so.
No, but it feels like the pressure has shifted. The San Antonio Spurs come in as a favorite. They're at home. And now it's like the Knicks have to do it. I think people aren't anticipating that Game 4 has to be a Knicks victory. They have to finish the sweep, win the first championship since 1973, and just really send the whole city and fan base into a frenzy.
So you think you actually think the pressure is amped up, even though they're up 2-0?
It's all the pressure on New York. Who cares what San Antonio does at this point? Your star is 22. Your other biggest stars are 21 and 20. To your point, I think you said it well. The Spurs are going to be a contender for a very long time. And I'll tell you what, this might be your last chance to catch Wemby. This might be your last shot to get a win over him as he continues to improve.
Well, you got to be careful saying stuff like that because the history of the league shows, guys get hurt.
They do.
Like things change. I mean, when Denver won with Jokic, you could have made an argument, okay, this is going to be the first of 4 or 5. I mean, people thought that with Giannis when his team won. When Luka lost in the finals, they were like, here we go, Dallas has got – I mean, things change. We have had 8 different champs over the last 8 years.
We do. We haven't had a team with this much youth. Like, you're always talking about rookie contracts and the value of that. The Spurs have all these contractual advantages right now to keep this group together.
But that won't stay forever.
It won't.
So that's not – I mean, that's part of the change. I mean, look, De'Aaron Fox didn't have the greatest game in Game 2, but I don't think they're here if De'Aaron Fox is not a part of the team, and he might not be part of the team in a year or two, just from a contract standpoint. So you do have to say, I'm not saying that they're not – Wemby's going to be a dominant force, but I do think – it's easy for teams to go, well, we have all this time in the future. That doesn't always turn out to be correct.
Yeah, I think this conversation has been a little different because of the force he is on both sides of the ball. I mean, they could have won both games. Right? You can make the case they should have. And we'd be having a different conversation around Wemby. He made a bunch of mistakes in those games, especially Game 2 at the end. We saw that. But he looks like a guy who you could see him dominating this league for a long time just because of his youth. And the Knicks, though, are showing the value of having a mature team. And I think maybe this is, Matt, the only other way you can build a team. You can go pay a couple of max guys and try to find a supporting cast, which is what a number of teams have done to this point. Or you can take a Jalen Brunson who says, all right, I'm going to take a little pay cut here so I can be the king of the whole city, and it's worked out in his favor so far.
Well, things have changed a lot in the league in the sense that you have to draft your stars. And that it's very rare that a star gets traded. Jalen Brunson is an exception in terms of he got signed as a free agent. But generally speaking, you're going to have to draft your stars, and San Antonio has done that. I want to go to the atmosphere in Game 3. Yeah. Okay? You know what the ticket prices are. Now, granted, you're not a Knicks fan. But what's the amount of money, Myron, that you would pay to sit 5th row for that game Monday night?
I mean, if you're a real fan,
if you're Myron Metcalf, Moneybag Myron.
No,
how much would you pay?
I'm paying over $1,000.
You're not going to pay over $1,000?
Maybe $2,000. I'm not. No, I don't. I think if you're in the building, and this is nothing against the people who are rich enough to be in there. That's going to be a different kind of crowd. Whereas I'd rather be in some spot in Brooklyn, some spot in Harlem.
You would not rather be in Harlem than at the game.
I would.
No, you wouldn't. You're lying. You would not rather be at a bodega in Harlem than to go to the game.
Those guys that's going to be like the Hamptons. I have no tie to those people in the building who are paying $11,000 to be in the nosebleeds.
To the people in Harlem either.
I would feel much more like I'm dealing with real, regular Knicks fans. And those guys, I don't think would be in the building.
If I offered you the ability to go to Game 3 with me.
Okay.
Or we can go sit in Harlem. You're going to choose to go to Harlem.
I'd rather go to a spot Harlem. I'd rather go to a real established Knicks bar.
You would turn down my ticket.
I would.
To go to a sports bar in Harlem.
I would. I'd rather have the experience with regular fans.
You are crazy.
I would rather have an experience with regular fans, real Knicks fans. I want to be next to the guy who's been watching this team for 40 years and has never experienced this moment. I want to be next to that person.
I know you. You are a celebrity. You are a you love. Oh, I knew Stuart Scott. I knew Brett Michaels. Like you're always all these people.
No, I want to be in a. I think the real experience is going to be around real Knicks fans.
One more question.
I'm not saying they're not Knicks fans.
Let's say you're the mayor of New York, Mamdani.
Yeah.
He gets heat because he chooses to sit in like section 220. He doesn't sit down on the floor. You're the mayor of New York, Mayor Myron.
Yeah.
Are you sitting on the floor or are you sitting with the masses?
Oh, I'm probably sitting on the floor if I'm the mayor.
No, wait a minute. That goes against what you just said.
No, I'm the mayor. That's different. If I'm the mayor, I gotta show some prominence, I would say. I'd sit on the floor.
So so wait a minute. This makes no sense.
Yeah.
You're going to choose to go to Harlem instead of the game. But if you're going to the game, you want to be down on the floor.
As the mayor, I might be on the Knicks bench as the mayor. I mean, I might, I would use all the advantages of being the mayor. You know, what are the things I can do? I do them all.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Well, if you listened earlier, we previewed half of the World Cup, but there's another half. Myron's already told you who's going to win, and we've seen what countries he would visit. We will do the second half of the World Cup and get you ready for a big day in sports. That's next here on Matt and Myron.
Coming up on the Monday edition of Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and me, Michelle Smallman. The biggest event in the world kicks off this week. The World Cup is finally here, and we'll get you ready for all of it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
When you're a maintenance engineer in a beverage manufacturing plant, you keep production lines moving and quality on track because there's no room for slowdowns. With Grainger's vast selection of high-quality motors, sensors, belts, and hard-to-find parts, you can get what you need fast and all in one place, so nothing gets in the way of getting the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Buster Olney here for La Quinta by Wyndham. Summer means travel, and for a lot of people, that includes their four-legged MVP. Mine is a yellow lad named Quinny. But finding a hotel that actually welcomes pets can feel like striking out. At La Quinta by Wyndham, pet-friendly stays are part of the game plan, so you don't have to leave your best travel companion behind. You can bring them along for every inning of the trip, because the road is better when the whole team's together. And when you book at LaQuinta.com, you can earn Wyndham Rewards points on your qualified stays along the way. Tonight, La Quinta, Tomorrow you shine. Terms and conditions apply.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo pre-filled syringe, which contains F-gartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART myway.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. It's a fruity candy flavor explosion, and I mean explosion. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, a zero sugar treat that's sweet tooth approved. These can take care of my candy cravings and provides a tasty caffeine kick without all the sugar. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get candy flavored chaos with Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
It is Matt Myron here on ESPN Radio.
We divide the checks. Yeah,
we have been doing a little World Cup preview. We previewed the first 6 groups. Now we're going to do the bottom 6 groups. We want to make sure everybody gets their time, Myron. So let's start with Group G. I'm going to read you the teams. You tell me who will win it.
Okay.
Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand.
Does Egypt have, is it Mohamed Salah? Is that his name?
I don't know if he still plays, but possibly.
I think he still plays. That's one of the stars I know. So I will go with Egypt, plus the pyramids and all that. I think Egypt.
How do you think the pyramids are going to play into it?
Mystique.
You think they're going to have mystique when they get out there?
Yeah, there's just something about that.
I'm going to go with Belgium. They have an aging generation that was supposed to bring them a World Cup. They've never really done what everyone had hoped. They're kind of aging out now. This will be their last ride. So I think they win the group. Now, which of those countries would you want to visit? Belgium, Egypt, Iran, or New Zealand?
I want to see the Sphinx and the pyramids, so Egypt for sure.
Oh, you want to go to Egypt?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, they say when you go there, there's a lot of people trying to sell you stuff.
Like in America?
Well, that's true. I guess there are parts of America like that too. I would want to go to New Zealand. It's very beautiful, New Zealand. Have you seen the mountains and all of that? That's
it looks. Isn't an Aqua dude from there? What's his name?
Aqua dude.
The guy who's in the movie. He's the big tall Aqua guy. He plays that
Jason
character.
Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
I think he's from Hawaii. I thought.
Oh, I thought it was New Zealand. Okay.
Yeah, same thing. All right, let's go to Group H. Spain, Cape Verde, which I probably I've not been to, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Who you got?
Oh, man. I'll go with Uruguay.
You're going to go with Uruguay. Montevideo?
Yep. What is that?
That's the capital of Uruguay, Montevideo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, well, you just learned. I'm going to take Spain. Spain's got that young guy. They're training in Chattanooga. They're training in Chattanooga, which I think is funny to think of the Spanish national team at the Chattanooga Choo-Choo in Tennessee. That's where their home base is. Where would you want to visit of those countries?
Spain. My sister was in Spain for a while and told me a lot about Madrid and how beautiful it was. So.
I love Spain. I've been. I would pick it again. Although Cape Verde, just for the mystery, I don't even know where it is. I think it would be fun to go there, right?
Yeah, I'd love it.
I think it's like a series of islands or something. France, Group I, France, Senegal, Iraq, and Norway. Where would you like to go?
It feels like France should be the overwhelming favorite.
I think they are,
group,
yes.
Right?
I think they are.
Mbappe, is that his name? Is he playing?
Well, I assume so.
Okay. Yeah, I think you got to pick France.
I'm going to take France, but where would you want to visit of those countries?
Give me the list again.
France, Senegal, Iraq, and Norway.
I'll go with Senegal.
Senegal, really?
Yeah. Senegal.
Why would you want to visit Senegal?
Something different. I mean, the French are a lot, so probably just Senegal.
Do you know anything about Senegal?
Not a ton, but I would learn if I went there.
You would learn? I would go to Norway, the fjords.
Okay. Yep. That sounds about on brand.
Come on now. See, why you got to do that to me? I'm just saying they got fjords. I don't know. I mean, if you want me, I'll go to Senegal with you if you want. I don't.
Are you building high speed internet lines or something out there? Like, what are you?
I just like fjords. Group J: Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan.
Are you going to do that every time? Are you going to say Argentina that way? Because that just is not helping.
Why does that not help? That's how you pronounce it.
But I mean, you haven't done that for any other country we've mentioned so far.
I like saying Argentina.
But like, I don't know, man. Okay, so Argentina and who?
Algeria, Austria, and Jordan.
Jordan, Austria.
You got to take Argentina, right? With Messi,
right?
And all that. Which one of those would you want to visit?
Argentina, probably.
Argentina, me too. I think I would want to visit Argentina as well. I think that would be the most fun place of the group. Group K is Portugal, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Uzbekistan, and Colombia.
Listen, man, I was in a place again buying jerseys, and I was looking at this Colombia jersey, and this woman was like, "Hey, I'm from Colombia." Like, yes, I bought the jersey because I was like, "Oh, cool," and I have a Colombia jersey, so I have to go with Colombia.
I'm going to go with Colombia too. I think Colombia is my dark horse for the entire World Cup. I like Colombia, and if I were to visit one of those places, I've been to Portugal. I don't think with all that's going on, Congo or Uzbekistan is the place. So I'm going to say Colombia both to win and to visit.
Yeah, Colombia. You know what they have down there? Hippos. Do you know about
hippos?
They've got a hippo problem.
I was worried you were going to say something else. So I'm glad you said. I'm actually glad you said hippos. I was very worried that there was going to be something else come out of your mouth.
They have a hippo problem from Pablo Escobar.
Oh yeah, because he got all of them, and then they went and bred and all that.
He brought in these 2 hippos illegally, and now it's the only place with feral hippos, I believe, outside of Africa.
I've seen that. And hippos, you don't want to mess with a hippo.
They destroy everything.
People think of hungry hippo as like a cute thing because of the game. Don't mess with a hippo. They will mess you up. Watch out for the hippos. Final group, Group L: England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama.
England for sure, right? England's got to be the favorite.
England's probably the favorite there, although Ghana's had a lot of success. It's beaten America a lot in the World Cup.
Yeah, I'll pick England to win.
I'm going to take England, and then as far as visit, I'm going to say Croatia because of the beaches, but I will note Panama has the only spot in the world where you can stand in one place and see the sunset on the east and set in the west from the same spot.
How does that? Oh, really?
Because it's so narrow and it sits right there. You can get on top of a mountain and you can see them both.
Okay, yeah. I was going to pick Ghana, but I'm going with that. I like those kinds of things.
You'd like to go to Panama and see that spot where you could just sit, and if you sat there all day, you could watch it do both things.
I want to go to that spot for sure.
All right, there you go. There's your World Cup preview, including Myron's Go Around the World. That would be a good show. Send you to Senegal, and you show us around and help us learn the country.
Hey, I'd be in, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, by the way, World Cup coverage, it begins on Thursday. The first game is at 3 o'clock in Mexico as Mexico will play South Korea. Now, the NBA Finals comes back Monday. Of course, the NHL Finals comes back on Tuesday. We're going to get you ready for all those. And big day in college baseball as more teams book their ticket to Omaha. That's all next here on Matt and Myron on ESPN Radio, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Coming up on the Monday edition of Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and me, Michelle Smallman. The biggest event in the world kicks off this week. The World Cup is finally here, and we'll get you ready for all of it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
promised.
I took the garbage out.
No, I'm talking about all the work we need to get done around here.
I know. We need a new roof and we need replacement windows.
How about a new bathroom and some overdue remodeling?
And how are we supposed to pay for all that?
My sister said she called Remodeling Loans and they were able to find her certified contractors.
That's great. But how'd she get the money to pay for all that?
Remodeling Loans offered 0 interest for 60 months. They even have payment plans with 0 down and 0 deposit.
Looks like we're getting a home makeover.
Great. Now, if I only knew someone to call for a husband makeover.
Really?
Remodeling Loans is the #1 leader in home improvement financing. Call 800-921-1403 today for a no credit check, no risk approval. Get approved today and we'll match you with the best contractors in your area. And remember, no deposit financing is now available. Call 800-921-1403. 800-921-1403.
When it's time to scale your business, it's time for Shopify. Get everything you need to grow the way you want. Like, all the way. Stack more sales with the best converting checkout on the planet. Track your cha-chings from every channel, right in one spot. And turn real-time reporting into big-time opportunities. Take your business to a whole new level. Switch to Shopify. Start your free trial today.
Smalls here. If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds can turn into sinus infections that last weeks, ruining your perfect vacation getaway. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and a pharmacy, it's stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy at home. It includes prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of illnesses. So if you wake up sick, at home, or on the road, you have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, and no pharmacy lines. Also, no copays. Match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor. Start meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs a medical emergency kit, so order yours online in minutes. It's shipped right to your door. Save $45 with my promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. That's promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls.
Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Alex Smith talking about Myles Garrett. Walk me through how Joe Burrow is thinking.
I mean, oh my God. To think about it, you don't have to play this guy twice a year.
Right?
What, did he have 6 sacks in a game last year? Like, it is just a nightmare. And as much as a quarterback, you try to, like, focus your attention downfield. But, like, this guy, you know, is just hunting you every single play. And, like it or not, that sits in the back of your head, Rich.
The Rich Eisen Show from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus. This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Men's singles final at Roland Garros, and we may be headed to a 5th and deciding set. Number 2 seed Alexander Zverev and number 10 seed Flavio Cobolli. Zverev looking for his first ever major title. Led 2-1, but Cobolli up 5-4 in the 4th set, and a chance to push it to 5. Game 3 of the NBA Finals coming tomorrow night. The Knicks winning the first 2 in San Antonio. Now headed back to the Garden. 2 wins away from a title. Have gotten big games from Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns as part of a 13-game winning streak. ESPN's Chris Carlin says Cat has been key.
Through the majority of the season, I did not feel, even after his postseason last year, which was pretty good, I did not feel like he was going to be the right piece to get them over the hump, and thus it would have been a Giannis discussion. What he has done specifically here, but overall in the playoffs, but specifically these last 2 games, I thought Game 1 was the best game that he had played as a Knick, period, and Game 2 was pretty darn close.
Carlin on Hammer and Emmett. Game 3 Monday night, tip just after 8:30 Eastern. Coverage beginning at 7:30 Eastern here on ESPN Radio. In baseball, the Mets called infielder Jorge Polanco back from his rehab assignment after experiencing ankle soreness. Was placed on the IL on April 15th. Was scheduled to play in AAA before returning to the majors.
Hey, it's resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy coming up Monday. From the finals to the Stanley Cup and everything else in between, I'll react to it all in my Upon Further Review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Myron here on ESPN Radio. Tomorrow night, back to the NBA Finals. What are the chances they win the Spurs tomorrow night, Myron? Like, keep the series going? I mean, I think if the Knicks win tomorrow, it's over. So what are the chances the Spurs get it and make it competitive?
I think they're good. I mean, they should have won this last game. They should have won game 2. They were never in a position to do that. So I don't think there's like a significant advantage that the Knicks have beyond Karl Anthony Towns playing like an MVP, the maturity and experience. But nothing would surprise me in game 3.
But what about the crowd? I mean, if you couldn't win with your home crowd all wearing the fluorescent colors of the Spurs rainbow, why would you be able to win as it is in New York?
Because it's going to be a Hamptons crowd. It's like
you're I've down on this crowd.
It's not. I've been to Lakers. It feels like a Lakers game. I've been to Lakers games with Kim Kardashian and Bad Bunny and all these other. It's a different atmosphere. And I don't think it's going to feel like a regular season.
But it hasn't felt like that in the rest of the playoffs. You just think this is going to be fundamentally different in this next round?
Matt, 11,000 to get in the door.
Yeah, but people who had tickets, I mean, you're right about that if you're trying to buy it on the secondary market. But for people who were season ticket holders who already had tickets, they're the ones that have those tickets.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's going to be different than what we've seen to this point. The way people are talking about it, I think it's going to be a very exclusive crowd. And those are real Knicks fans. Don't get me wrong. The Ben Stillers and those guys,
if you were a season ticket holder, would you sell for this game? Let's say you're like, I mean, it would be hard to have season tickets and be like working, but let's say you have, Myron money. Okay. Good Myron money. And you have a chance to go to this game, which who knows if you'll ever see an NBA Finals game again in New York, or you can sell for $8,000 to $10,000 and watch somewhere else. What are you doing?
No, a real fan, especially if you're going with someone like that's important to you, I wouldn't sell in those circumstances. You can make more money, but you can't have that experience. So, as a season ticket holder, no. As someone who just happened to get a couple of tickets somehow and now they're worth $11,000 a piece, yeah, I'm selling. If I don't have a tie to the team like that and it's not like this magical moment.
So how much is let's say you're a true diehard Knicks fan. What is the amount of money you part it with? Not 8 or 10. What about 15?
Nah, it'd have to be 25.
30.
It'd have to be 25 to 30.
So 25,000, you're going to walk away from this moment that you've looked for the rest of your life.
Maybe it'd have to be into the 6 figures. It'd have to be enough to where you
6 figures.
It'd have to be enough to where you're like, okay, I missed this, but now I'm good for a good stretch. It'd have to be a lot more than that, I would think.
Yeah,
it'd have to be pretty significant.
I agree with you. Now, let's say, I don't know if I'd say that much. I'd probably sell it for less than that. But let's say that they win. Where does Jalen Brunson then rank amongst sort of New York? Like, okay, so who is the New York, like, top 5 players in terms of beloved athletes in New York? Help me out with this. Would this be, what, Jeter?
Yeah, Jeter's in his own category.
Who's the list right now? Like, if you were to say, New York fans, these are our 5 most beloved athletes that are living, who would it be?
I mean, I think Jeter's number 1.
Rivera?
I think Clyde Frazier, does the games. Is
Jeter,
won 2
Clyde
championships.
Frazier, Rivera.
Patrick Ewing. Rivera,
is there
Patrick
a giant?
Ewing.
Is there a giant?
I think Eli is still loved by Giants.
Do people consider? I don't think they consider Eli a New Yorker. Like, I think they consider these other people a New Yorker. I think Eli, they love him, but he's not a New Yorker.
I mean, winning 2 championships over the pay. I think Eli is New York. I think they see him as theirs. The joke.
Is there a hockey? Like, is there a Messier?
Messier probably. I probably think Messier is probably the guy.
Who is the goalie during all of that? Is he was Yeah, I don't know.
What about Lundqvist?
Lundqvist, that's what I was saying.
Lundqvist
So
is
I actually
big.
think Lundqvist over Messier because Lundqvist played there for
Lundqvist's big.
Never won there, though.
But let's just say, if Jalen Brunson gets on, like if Jalen Brunson wins, is he now on that list?
I think he's right behind Jeter for this generation.
You think he's number 2?
For this generation, I don't think anybody overtakes Jeter. Jeter's just Derek Jeter. But I think right behind him, and I think in terms of the current faces, we didn't even mention Aaron Judge, by the way. Current
that's
faces,
true. Yeah, how did we not mention Aaron
Jalen
Judge?
Brunson would be something completely different. I just think, not even just the king of New York, one of the faces of the league, maybe the face of the league, if he can take New York to a championship. But he'd be the biggest thing in New York City, and he would be an
Is there
icon.
no Met? No Met you put on there?
I mean, the Darryl Strawberries, I don't know if those guys.
Yeah, I don't know if they have.
I don't know
that
how they're
same-
viewed.
Keith Hernandez?
Maybe Keith Hernandez. Maybe Keith Hernandez is in that. But I think Jalen Brunson for a social media generation, unfortunately, a lot of people say, well, no one goes over Patrick Ewing. As great as Patrick Ewing was, he didn't win.
Oh, I think if Jalen wins, he's over Patrick Ewing. I mean, I think
A lot of
Patrick
people don't
Ewing,
like that, though.
Why not?
Well, because Ewing was.
But those are the same people who would have said, like, you can't put Jeter over Don Mattingly.
Yeah.
But then you did. Once Jeter won,
Yeah.
he's over Don Mattingly at that point. People love Don Mattingly, but Don Mattingly never won. Jeter did. I think if Jalen Brunson wins, he overtakes Ewing in beloved. Now, that doesn't mean he's the greatest, Nick, right? I think that's a different conversation. But if you're just talking about the most beloved, I think he would jump him.
This generation will call him the greatest. There's a bunch of people under the
But I
age
don't
of
think that's
45.
fair. Do you think? I mean, do you think he would be, even if they win this, the greatest, Nick?
There's an argument. There's definitely an argument. Again, Clyde Frazier won 2, and he was really good. Willis Reed, playing on a broken leg, had really big numbers.
And all those guys on the 70 teams, like Bill Bradley, Dave Bing.
But this generation doesn't know those guys. And that's nothing against them.
That's true. That's true.
I think Brunson, being the number one guy in New York City right now, in a social media generation, would just elevate him to a whole different plateau. Now, if he had more personality, it'd be even more obvious. That's the only thing that I think may hold him back a little bit. He doesn't really have a ton of personality, but he's going to be the king.
Where would Carl be?
Right behind him. I mean, for this generation, if they win and you said, hey, Patrick Ewing or Karl Towns, that may sound crazy.
Sounds crazy to me, and I love Karl Towns. I mean, that's a Kentucky guy. But Ewing is, I mean, when I think Knicks, to me, my lifetime, it's Patrick Ewing, right?
I'm with you. Patrick Ewing is one of the greatest centers of all time. It wouldn't be on my list. But I think, especially the immediate aftermath of this, if they pull it off and Karl Towns continues to play like this, Patrick Ewing never did this. Like, no one has ever witnessed a big man carry a team since Willis Reed to a championship. We replaced those guys. It's unfortunate, but eventually we go, okay, that was a different era. And I think that would happen in this situation.
What do you think New York City would be like for the parade?
The greatest parade we have ever seen. I was living in New York for the Puerto Rican Day parade one year.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because there's no city that does parades like this.
That's true. They love
New York
parades.
does parades
New York will
on
have
Tuesday
a parade for anything.
no reason.
Yes.
So it would be incredible to do it around.
I'm just trying to picture. I remember the last major. I remember the Rangers parade.
Yeah.
Right in the 90s when they won for the first time. It was on that famous day with the O.J. Chase and all of that. And that was one of the great spectacles because they hadn't won it in forever. I think if they have a Knicks parade, like that could be the best day in the city since when? I don't know, since World War II ended.
I mean, it's just
literally
the last championship.
Like, what would be? No, but it'd be better now because you've had to wait 50 years.
Yeah, it would be. It'd be intense. And now this is a team that, again, 15 years ago was that last Super Bowl, I believe 2011.
Yeah, but the thing about New York is, in New York, the Yankees and the Mets split the city. The Jets and the Giants split the city. even the Rangers and the Devils split the city. But no one roots for Brooklyn.
No, it's all the Knicks.
It's all Knicks. The only thing that unifies the city 100% is the Knicks. The other sports, they love them, but then there are people that don't. But when it comes to the Knicks, everyone loves them, and I think that's why it'll be so great.
But that's why I just want to. You can keep the tickets. Take me to the Bronx. Take me to a street party in the Bronx somewhere. People watching this. That's where I would want to see it. I would want to watch it in such an authentic place and celebrating with fans who have been waiting on this moment, who can't afford to get into these doors because who can. That, to me, is going to be an epic experience. And without the hassle, by the way, potentially, of a Game 4 situation.
Yeah, well, we will see. I think if it ends up, if they win in 4 or in Game 6, if they win when it's in New York, forget about it. I mean, it will be one of the great scenes in the history of American sports. It really will in a city like New York. Now, there's other games to go on, including the College World Series. Do you like watching college baseball? It's an absolute cluster. Do you enjoy it?
I watched the women's softball, too. Yeah, it's fun.
Already in the College World Series, there's West Virginia and Troy. How about Troy has made the College World Series? Their stadium, Myron, only holds 500 people, and they've made the College World Series. We will pick all those games and more. That's next here on Matt and Myron on ESPN Radio.
Today on the Rich Eisen Show, we'll talk about the latest in the Stanley Cup Final and the NBA Finals, which has a Game 3 on Monday night. Chris Fowler, my longtime friend from ESPN, will check in. And we'll also have Tony Hale in studio. That's Monday's Rich Eisen Show on Disney Plus, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
Grainger knows when you're a procurement manager for an office park, you're not managing one building. You're managing all of them. And to stay ahead, you need to see through walls and around corners. Lights about to fail, filters ready to clog, HVAC on its last leg. If you wait until something breaks, you're already behind. Count on Grainger for quality products, easy reordering, and 24/7 support. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Buster Olney here for La Quinta by Wyndham. Summer work travel can feel like extra innings. Long days, late nights, and not a lot of room to stretch out, especially when your hotel room feels more like the dugout than the clubhouse. But when you stay at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can step up to spacious suites that give you room to relax, recharge, and get ready for the next day. I always feel like I need that when I'm traveling on the road covering ball games. Plus, you can earn Wyndham Rewards points with every qualified stay. Because when you've got space to unwind, you're always playing at your best. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book your next work trip at laquinta.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. It's a fruity candy flavor explosion, and I mean explosion. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, a zero-sugar treat that's sweet tooth approved. These can take care of my candy cravings and provides a tasty caffeine kick without all the sugar. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get candy-flavored chaos with Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the VivGuard Hytrulo prefilled syringe, which contains F-gartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VivGuardMyWay.com. That's VYVGART MyWay.com. And talk to your doctor about VivGuard Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
That dude called Jalen Hurts now has no more excuses. Now the guy that was a distraction, you two are not able to figure it out, whether you tried to figure it out or did not try to figure it out, that's neither here nor there anymore because your wide receiver room is really, really good, even without A.J. Brown. So now with the new offensive coordinator, Sean Mannion, what are you going to do about it if you're Jalen Hurts?
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Hey guys, Kevin Carr from This Is Football Podcast. This week, Patrick Doherty and I rank the best and worst GMs in the NFL. That's This Is Football, wherever you get your pods.
ESPN Radio. Life is a highway. Myron Metcalf is going to ride it all night long, as will we. And we got baseball tonight. What's the game, James? The ESPN game tonight. Is it Cubs?
It is Cubs host the Giants. Cubs begins at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Cubs have had a rough run of it here lately, but maybe they can get it back on track. But before we do that, we have to tell you about who's going to win lots of games around the country. It's time for Take Your Pick.
Take your pick. You take your pick. It's time to Take Your Pick with Matt and Myron.
What a huge week of sports coming. Yeah. NBA Finals, NHL Finals, College Baseball World Series will start up. The World Cup starts up. All kinds of stuff. And you can't go into that week without knowing who's going to win. So, James, let's get started. Let's take our pick.
Yeah, let's start with the NBA. Game 3 will be Monday between the Spurs and the Knicks. The Knicks are up 2-0 in the series, heading back to Madison Square Garden, as we talked about all day. You'll be able to hear that right here on ESPN Radio on Monday. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern. Knicks are 2.5-point favorites. Who do you got here?
I kind of think the Spurs win this one. I mean, it'd be a very rare series. Very rarely see the road team win 3 straight games. But I just have a hard time seeing Wemby's group going down 3-0. Every game has been winnable for the Spurs. They just haven't done it. I wonder if pressure kind of gets the Knicks in this one. I think they'll win Game 4, but I'm going to say the Spurs win Game 3 to send it to San Antonio for Game 5, Myron.
It feels like there's only one or two scenarios. A Knicks blowout by like 20. Or the Spurs kind of win a close one.
I could see that, yeah.
I'll go with the Spurs winning a close one just because we saw them face adversity against OKC and they bounced back to make it competitive and then eventually to win. So I'll take the Spurs, but it won't shock me if the Knicks find a way to sweep them because of the maturity and just all the other factors in that.
What's next?
Heartbreaking loss for your Hurricanes last night in double overtime, Matt. That series is the Golden Knights are up 2-1 in that series now. Game 4 is in Vegas on Tuesday. You can see it on ABC television. The Golden Knights are slightly favored in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched this whole series. I'm obviously a Hurricanes fan. I think the Golden Knights are better, but anything can happen in these games. I think these teams are close. I'm going to say the Golden Knights win and go up 3-1. Then I think the Hurricanes will win Game 5, and we'll see what happens in 6. But I'm going to take the Golden Knights to win. I really had the opinion last night that whoever won that game was going to end up winning the series. The Knights won, and so unfortunately I'll pick Las Vegas.
I mean, this feels like a series where if you tell me that Carolina is going to start the game the way that they've managed to finish it, I'm going to pick Carolina. Like to me, it's a matter of we know what they're capable of, but can you come out the gate and play that way? I think they will in this game. Advantage Carolina if they dictate the pace of this game. Give me Carolina to win.
I hope you're right. I would love to see it. Like I said, I have tickets to Game 7 if we can get there, but I'm worried we may not get there. What's next?
The series has been nuts, like comebacks and everything.
It's been nuts. It's been
wild to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone couldn't say this has been one of the best hockey series, one of the best sporting series 3 games through I've ever seen. But go ahead.
All right, you said the World Cup begins this week. The United States plays Paraguay on Friday at 9 p.m. Who do you got in this one?
I'm excited about this one just because it's Friday at 9 p.m. They made it to where you could get as many people watching as possible. It doesn't feel like the country has completely locked in to the World Cup yet. I think they will for this one. I'm going to call it, I'm going to make a weird thing. I'm going to say a draw, Myron. Let's say a draw for Game 1 for the United States.
This is one of those weeks where I'm like, what do you do if you're not a sports fan? You know, like I feel like you're just missing so much to have this kind of be another thing that we get to pay attention to and enjoy. I'll pick the United States. I mean, I think, you know, to be able to kick off the World Cup at home, I think they'll live up to maybe the pressure that comes with that.
Do you know the capital of Paraguay, who we play? I'll ask the three of you. Because it's a hard one. This is a South American country. Can any of you name the capital of Paraguay?
No, I can't.
I
Myron?
cannot, but Myron is the self-proclaimed geography expert.
Okay, there you go, Myron. The capital of Paraguay.
Can you give me the first letter?
A.
Can you give me the second letter?
S.
Could you just spell it for him, please?
A-S.
Asalenka? Is it a...
Asalenka, no.
Okay.
That's not even...
Not a tennis player?
Yeah, that's not even... That's Asuncion.
I was close.
No.
No, not
there
really.
You weren't in the ballpark.
You had the first two letters.
Yes. By the way, just so you know, Asuncion is the capital of Paraguay. It was founded by the Spanish in 1537, and Asuncion means mother of cities.
Okay. National Geographic fact from Matt Jones.
I'm trying to help people learn. In addition, I mean, unlike you, it's not just opinions. I want to give people knowledge.
Do you really want to be a tour guide or something? Like, is your dream?
Here's the thing. I enjoy the World Cup because it gives us a chance to learn about the world beyond our borders. Sometimes we have a very close. Now you learn about Asuncion, and it's and what's it mean again, Myron?
The mother.
The mother of all cities.
Mother
That's
of all
right.
cities.
What's next?
Appropriate for a capital.
That's exactly right.
Plus 245 on DraftKings for a draw in U.S. Paraguay.
I like that one.
By the way. Let's head to Major League Baseball. Your Reds with Rhett Lauder on the mound against the Cardinals today with Michael McGreevy. The Cardinals are favored on the money line. They're minus 156. Who you got here?
Michael McGreevy sounds like a villain in an 80s sitcom.
The high school bully.
There's old Michael McGreevy again. What a jerk. I'm going to take the Reds, even though we've been awful. I feel like we're due one in this series. Plus, you can't let old nasty Michael McGreevy win a game. Give me the Reds.
Like when they bring the fingerprints back and they're like, who to come up as?
Michael McGreevy.
I'm actually going to take the Reds.
All right, good. We needed it. What's next?
All right. Myron's Brewers with Shane Drowan on the mound against the Rockies with Kyle Freeland on the mound. The Brewers are favored on the money line, minus 186. Who you got here?
I'll take the Brewers. I don't know one Rockies player. I can't even remember the last time I watched a Rockies game. Honestly, I think Todd Helton was playing the last time I watched. Maybe Larry Walker was the last time I watched a Rockies game. I'm going to go ahead and take the Brewers.
James, did you call them the Brewers or the best team in baseball?
No, just the Brewers.
Also known as the best team in baseball.
I think it's just the Brewers.
Okay, well,
I like your guy, Jacob The Miz. He wouldn't.
1,000 miles
he
an
told
hour.
the manager, "Get out. I'm going to finish this game. I'm going to keep pitching." And then he had 2 strikeouts. He emasculated that man. Just complete the manager.
He throws 1,000 miles an hour. What are you talking to him for?
What's next?
Yeah, I have one more. It's Sunday Night Baseball. You can see it, hear it right here on ESPN Radio. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock. Giants with Trevor McDonald on the mound against the Cubs with Jameson Taillon.
I'll take Jameson and the Cubs. Who you got, Myron?
Reluctantly, I'll pick the Cubs.
All right. By the way, if you decide, Myron, to go to Asuncion, $1 of American money will buy you 6,104 Paraguayan guarani.
I can't do this exchange rate thing.
What? I'm just trying to...
You have investments in all these cities, don't you?
I do. I'm very strong on the Paraguayan guarani.
Offshore accounts.
Offshore. What do you think I do? Game day is next with Zaslow and Asuncion. Here, this has been ESPN Radio.
Heroes rise when they run to fresh. Up top for Towns. Hey, score!
Wembanyama drives hard. Windmills at home.
Oh, what a big shot!
The NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Gusto.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0000 0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
No days off when you love what you're doing. Sundays are the best day of the week because you're just one day away from First Take returning Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Jordan Love, through his lack of production and lack of winning in January, would dictate to the organization that they may need to consider a different voice as your head coach. And so something about Jordan Love has to change in order for me to have confidence that this guy is going to get this team into the championship rounds anytime soon.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. Amber and Ian.
He's not eating bonbons. He's eating 150-pound dumbbells. The body is football strong. Aaron Donald's only 35. And we all know he was still at the top of his game when he left. He's not posting videos of him on a boat. It is multiple videos of Aaron Donald, whether he's just messing with us and having fun, or he's just showing everybody, Myles Garrett being there, maybe I might make another run at him.
Amber and Ian. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Been talking to people down there. I came away fairly upbeat on Alabama this year. Maybe it's just late May and I'm always upbeat on Alabama, but I feel pretty good.
Paul Feinbaum, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and the SEC Network.
This weekend on ESPN Radio, it's a National League showdown at Wrigley.
Left field, way back there. God! Alex Bregman.
One of baseball's great ballparks, two historic teams, and a weekend built for drama.
God! Devers deposits one, a 3-run homer. Wow!
The Giants at the Cubs. Coverage begins tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern and Sunday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
On the ESPN app and the SEC Network.
This is SportsCenter.
Another busy Sunday of baseball, and we've got Sunday Night Baseball here on ESPN Radio. It'll be the Giants and Cubs playing the rubber game of their 3-game series at Wrigley. Our coverage will get underway at 7:30. Also about to get underway, the Red Sox and the Yankees. The two teams were washed out yesterday after Boston took the opener on Friday. The Yankees continue to deal with life without Aaron Judge, who remains sidelined with a rib injury. Also today, it's the Freeway Series as the Dodgers look for a sweep of the Angels. They took the first 2 games of the series. Phillies and White Sox will wrap up their series in Philadelphia today. They will also be playing the rubber game after the White Sox took the second game yesterday. Pirates and Braves also getting ready to get underway in Atlanta. It's an off night in the NBA and Stanley Cup Finals. Tomorrow night, the Knicks host the Spurs in Game 3, and you can hear that game here on ESPN Radio and also see it on ABC. The Stanley Cup Finals resume on Tuesday in Vegas after the Golden Knights' double overtime win last night. It came after Carolina rallied from a 4-0 third-period deficit. ESPN's Eric Johnson talked about the Carolina comeback along with the Vegas victory.
The biggest thing is they are not out of any game, and that's the same thing for the Golden Knights. Either of these teams, when they've had a lead, it feels like the other team has come back and been able to take advantage of it. So no lead is safe in the Stanley Cup Final.
All Stanley Cup Final games can be seen on ABC. Men's final in the French Open. Right now, it's Alexander Zverev trailing 7-6 in the fourth set. He has a 2-1 lead in the final.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Monday, the biggest event in the world kicks off this week. The World Cup is finally here, and we'll get you ready for all of it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
ESPN Radio is the home to every game of the NBA Finals.
Brunson will back off. Now dribbles on the crossover to the right. To the dotted line. Fades. One-legged jumper. Good for the tie at 104. Fox has it with 20 points tonight. Fox now pass to Wemby. Wemby rises. His shot's no good. Rebound Knicks. Game's over. Lucky 13 for the Knicks.
Game 3 is tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden.
This is the closest we've been, and to be up 2-0 after 2 road victories, and for the next 2 games to be at the Garden, at Madison Square Garden, you got a chance not to even have to come back on the road to close them out and to feed off that adrenaline that New York, and when I say New York, I ain't talking about the Garden, I'm talking about the entire city. You're going to see it shaking, reverberating, you're going to see it all. To know that's coming, man.
Get ready with us on game day on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
It is going to be crazy in New York tomorrow for Game 3 with the Knicks going for their 14th straight victory here in the postseason. Our guy, David Dennis Jr., he's going to be there. I'm Gabe Neitzel. This is Game Day, ESPN Radio, ESPN app, Sirius XM, Channel 80. And Game Day is brought to you by Gusto. Gusto is your small business partner for payroll benefits and so much more. Get started for free at gusto.com. I cannot imagine how you feel about going to MSG tomorrow. I rarely get FOMO. Mm-hmm. Like, people are going to do their things. I got my own. So I am insanely jealous that you are going to be inside the Garden for Game 3, just because I honestly cannot fathom what the energy level inside that building tomorrow is going to be.
I think Game 3 is actually going to be the most raucous, insane American sporting event of my lifetime. Like, I honestly cannot think of a sporting event with that type of crowd and all the other stuff going on. 3 and 4, like, imagine if they win 3. Imagine what Game 4 is going to be. This is going to be. I can't think of a city that will experience this level of, I don't know, chaos, pandemonium, elation over a 72-hour period as what New York is going to be like for the next 4 days.
I think the way, and maybe I'm building this up way too much in my mind, and you're a wrestling guy, so I know you'll get this, but I'm sure people have seen it because it's like one of the most famous wrestling clips ever. But in the late 90s, during the Attitude Era of the WWE, Mick Foley is about to win his first ever WWE championship as the character Mankind. Stone Cold Steve Austin's music hits. The glass shatters. You cannot hear the rest of that. Like, the crowd, the place is up for grabs. Like, pandemonium because Stone Cold Steve Austin, the biggest guy, is what I am imagining that level of energy, but somehow maintained over the course of a game. That's what I'm picturing for Madison Square Garden tomorrow.
Yeah, like, and that's perfect. I'm glad you're a wrestling fan too, because the thing that comes to my mind is wrestling events. Like, when you think about crowds, like they just had the AAA match, mass versus mass match last week, and I watched it this morning on the treadmill, and the crowd was nuts, unhinged, and like you said, the Knicks is going to be like it's going to be like that in New York. Imagine a dagger Brunson shot in the fourth quarter. Right? Imagine like what happened in games 1 or 2 and 2 happening in New York, like a close game. Something happened in the fourth quarter. The roof is going to come off of Madison Square Garden in a way that we have not seen in any arena. This is 50 plus years built up of fans going absolutely insane for a team to win a championship. If this thing ends in a sweep in Game 4, like there have been sort of debates about like where do you stay? Should you stay? The media folks, should you stay far away? I'm walking out of Madison Square Garden, and I'm going to be amongst the people. I want to feel that energy and be out there. That may be the last, maybe like famous last words, literally, but like I want to be there amongst the people.
Hey, if I go down with the ship, I'm going down with the ship.
Hey, we're going to go down. We're going to go down in a blaze of glory. Sing my song when I'm done. Just know I was in there going crazy like I'm a Knicks. Not even a Knicks fan. Not even a Knicks fan. And like this is just something that you gotta feel good about.
Well, I had a golf event I'm playing in yesterday, and I've got people who are like, yeah, I don't really care about the NBA. I'm watching Game 3. Because people are just so curious, and they hear about the Knicks all the time.
Right.
They know how passionate the Knicks fans are because, as it's been pointed out so many times on this run, the reason why the Knicks are so big in New York, there's nobody else in town. Now the Nets are, but the Nets used to be in New Jersey, right? So if you're a Giants fan or a Jets fan, if you're a Yankees fan or a Mets fan, you're a Knicks fan. So all those fan bases that are typically split are all coming together, building up just an unbelievable atmosphere for what's going to be Game 3. And if they end up winning this thing, to your point, in a sweep, I'm old enough to remember, David, when they just went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year and the things they were doing on the streets of New York. Just getting to an Eastern Conference Finals. So to actually win a championship for the first time in 50 years, I mean, you're not going to be, if you are planning on going to work in Manhattan the day after that happens, I don't know if you're getting in. I don't know if you're going to be able to go to work that day.
Think about what the parade is going to be. Oh, like what's the parade going to be? I mean, and then of course the Game 3, of course, like bringing the wrestling analogy of like Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels headlining WrestleMania. Oh, let's throw a special guest referee in there for Mike Tyson to like add a little bit of like the president's going to be there at Game 3, man. Like this is like there's just so many eyes on this game, and so much. This is mainstream of the utmost mainstream of what we're watching in basketball right now.
Yeah, and again, coming up with comparisons, what it's going to be like, absolutely unbelievable. This is Game Day here on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. There was also a hockey game last night that was insane. Knights go up, the Golden Knights go up 4-0, blow the lead, somehow pull it off in double overtime. Shea Theodore, he was credited with the game-winning goal, even though he didn't put it in. He was the last to touch it for the Knights. Ends up being an own goal for the Hurricanes, which is why they end up losing that game and now trail in the series 2-1. So again, you want to talk about fan experiences. I can't imagine being a fan of either of those teams, just on the edge of your seat for 2 overtimes because of what hockey can be and because how quickly something can happen, like it did in the game last night. The puck's behind the net. They're trying to clear it out of there, and it hits off the goaltender skating in the back of the goal. Next thing you know, the game's over.
One of the heartbreaking losses.
So tough.
I mean, to come back, you got to remember, folks got to remember, they came back from 4 goals down in the third. And this was the makings of one of the miraculous comebacks that we've seen. I saw some people were saying this is the greatest hockey game ever.
Wow.
I don't know. I am not a hockey historian, but games like that, like hockey is one of those sports where even if you're not watching, you'll see the timeline, you'll see the people talk about it, and you're like, let me flip the channel and see what's going on, because people buzz about it in a way that it just makes you want to turn the channel and see what's going on.
Well, especially overtime hockey. It's one of those, and it's one of those sports where I always think about this. Back in, not the last time, not when this past winter in the Winter Olympics when USA Canada played. I'm talking back in 2010. I'm a couple years out of college. I'm dating a girl that has no interest in sports whatsoever. She wanted to watch that gold medal game. Doesn't know anything about sports, but hockey is simple enough. Yeah, there's nuances and obviously there's strategy and it gets complicated. But if you're just sitting at your home on